Hello. Looks like it's working. Hopefully it keeps working. Unlike last time, we had lots of problems with internet connection. Thought I'd do a, I don't know, semi-impromptu live stream. So I thought I'd do a little bit of tinkering around tonight, and in 13 hours time do another live stream, because why not? Hey Cartel and Wilhelm, how's it going? So hopefully more people turn up. It's pretty quiet right now. So yeah, it's an unusual time of day for me. I mean, I don't know what time it is over there for you, wherever you are. For me it's Saturday night, so it's fine for me. Other people might be a bit early, you know, in the morning and sort of stuff. But I've got something I want to work on. Little, it's not test gear related. It's consumer products, I suppose. 9 AM. Oh, that's cool. That's a decent time, isn't it? So it's like a Bluetooth stereo system sort of thing. It's actually my wife's. So I 9 in the morning now as well. Cool. And so it's doing something really weird. So I actually want to pull it apart and see if we can fix it. At the very least, it's going to be interesting pulling it apart and investigating the insides of it. So I thought we'd do that. You know, it's not test gear, but it's still going to be interesting, I think. And especially with the fault being what it is. It's an interesting fault. It's very unusual. So it's probably going to require a bit of investigation about looking at part numbers and things like that and trying to trace circuitry. I don't know if there's any circuit diagrams for this. I highly doubt it. I haven't even looked, actually. I should actually have a quick look. Let's see if I can find any circuit diagrams, if I can remember what the bloody model number is. Give me a second. Let me try and find the model number. Hopefully it has one on it somewhere. I know I'm out of shot because I... here you go. There's the model number. If only I could bloody read it because it's badly lasered on. Give me a second. I know you can't see me. IF360BT. Right. Let me see if we can find anything for this. I found a manual. I doubt there's circuit diagrams in it somehow. Let's see if we can find anything. I doubt it. I really should have done this beforehand, but you know how I like to leave things to the last second, I suppose. This is like general manuals. Yes, it's general manual, that one. I hate the way they have these clickbaity bloody web pages. I've got the PDF of it, great. Now, yeah, just the operating manual, that's all it's there. There's no service manual for it that I can find. So, yeah, okay. Let me just save this at least, since I don't actually have it. Then I'll check the chat again in a second. Right. Okay, so if you're watching the stream, drop in a chat, say hello. I'd like to know who's watching and communicate and have a chat. That's the whole point of the stream, is to chat with people and try and have a bit of a different experience than just watching videos all the time, you know, or generating videos. Okay, so yeah, no service manual. Not surprising. So we have to do it the hard way. You're a 404 workshop. Nice. Still haven't found it then. Haven't you got your workshop yet then? That was a few weeks ago now. I love the way YouTube tells me that I'm live. I know I'm live. I want YouTube to tell everybody else that I'm live, not me. I don't know why it does that. It doesn't tell me about anybody else going live. It only tells me about, you know, if I'm going live, it tells me. Don't tell me if like Dave goes live or Paul Daniels or one of the other channels I follow goes live. YouTube is YouTube indeed. Typical. So I should quickly show you this. Maybe it's not a great view. Yeah. There it is upside down. That's what it actually looks like. Get some lights on. And these little stereo things. I've had it for a while. I actually got this from my wife about 15 years ago. And up until last week, it's working fine. So, it needs fixing. Which is perfect because that's what I do. Hey Johnny. Oh, it's built now, excellent. At least you're not missing it completely anymore. So yeah, that's what I want to play with today. Bit of a different thing. I don't normally do consumer electronic stuff like this. Very rarely. So it's a bit of a different thing, and sort of the construction techniques are very different. It obviously depends on brand too, but it's obviously built down to a price as well. Whereas the test kit I work on usually, in a lot of cases, price isn't really an object. They just built it to the quality they needed. So it's going to be different, and there could be some interesting techniques in there for saving costs. You know, who knows? But we'll pull it apart and have a look. I mean, Edifier is, I don't really know what the brand standing is really like. I know they're still around, but I don't know. The quality seems okay. But to give you some idea of the age of this thing, it's got a iPhone 4 style iPod type connectors, 30-pin connectors, the old Apple 30-pin connectors. It's got one of those on it. And at the time that was being used with the phone. I think we have an iPod too, which had the same connector, if I remember rightly. Don't remember too well. But yeah. So that needs fixing. So we'll have a look and see if we can fix it. But it's got a really weird fault. Very strange. And I checked it before, about, I don't know, an hour ago or something. I checked it out. And initially the fault wasn't there. And then it started to appear. So, and it seemed to still be there when I walked away from it, basically. So it could be interesting. Now the fault is actually that it will be on Bluetooth, and you can still hear the radio. Or if you're on the auxiliary input, you can still hear the radio. If you're on SD card or some of these other things, I'm getting lots of frames dropping. Give me a second. Let's drop this bit rate down a bit. Lower bit rate, be more reliable. So the Bluetooth and auxiliary will hear the radio. SD card and iPod port don't. They're fine still. So those two other inputs are getting the radio feedback through them, which is weird. You know, you're not actually on the radio setting. It's not listening to radio input, but it's coming through. So yes, it's better now. Cool. Yes, it seems to stop dropping frames now. Yeah, you can certainly do without that happening. So my internet connection's been getting weird the past month or so. It's been getting flaky. I mean, right now the weather's pretty bad. That doesn't help because I'm wireless internet here. So I don't have wired internet. There's no fibre or anything like that. It's wireless through a high-speed link. And the weather does affect that to a degree. And it's pretty bad weather right now. But even that aside, my internet connection's not been very good recently. So I actually might need to get hold of my provider and say, something's not right. Because it didn't used to be this bad. So, anyway. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this drop frames thing and see if it goes away again. YouTube's recommending I have a higher bitrate than what I've got now. Which is great. It recommends 6800 kps. Really? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm doing 2,500 right now. I was at 3,000 when I started, and that seemed to be too much. Yeah. Well, also when I had this system set up, my original wireless installed, there's a house just up the road there, which is single story. There's a lot of like single story houses around here. It's a typical thing. Most New Zealand houses are single story, right? Just like bungalow sort of things, what you want to call them. And that's quite common. All houses that sort of size. But they did an extension. They put a top floor on, and so they made it 2-story. Now that happened to be directly in line of sight between my antenna and the broadcast antenna that it talks to. It's like going straight through the top story of their house. So I did notice at the time that it got worse when they put that up. Anyway, there are other options. I think they've actually put a new tower up in another location, which I think they're using for new connections. So I might actually see if I can get them to change it onto the other tower. So yes, did I say hello Ian? I can't remember if I did or not. So yeah, anyway, we'll tinker around with this. So let's go to this. Now, the question is, as always, which view do we use? Do we use this view, which is a bit artificial because it's zoomed, or do we use the HMI view, which is the camera view, which is what I tend to prefer, I think. The overhead view like this means I don't have to think about what the hell I'm doing. But it doesn't give you guys such a good shot, I think. But when I do the through the video camera view, at least you can see what I'm seeing as well, so I can make sure that you can get stuff in shot. And maybe I'm going to be recording video on this thing as well, so you'll be getting like a bit of behind the scenes of me recording a video, attempting to fix this thing. I don't even know how it's going to go. It could be a complete disaster. It could be easy. I really have no idea. But I'll demonstrate the issue first anyway. So let's get the camera fired up. I think I've got to turn off all the on-screen stuff actually. I think it's still turned on. I believe it is. Yeah, it is. Let me just turn that off first before I bother you with it. Give me a second. I should have prepared this a bit better beforehand, shouldn't I? LCD. No, that's not it. HDMI output. Char out. Off. Right. Okay, that's that prepared. So we'll get the menus now. Okay, that's better. Let's change over. Okay. So, I still dropped a few more frames. Not many though, about another 100. So what's that, about 1 second, 4 seconds worth, something like that? Yeah, still not happy. We'll see how we go. More light. Always need more light. Now, the problem is with this, it does have a screen on it. It's very dim. You can probably barely see it, but this lighting is going to be drowning it out. So I'll do a video intro, then we'll get onto it and I'll demonstrate the issue. Right, today I'm looking at this thing here, this Edifier. It's a IF360 BT model. And I've had this for a long time now. It's actually, I bought this for my wife many years ago, before she was a wife, in fact. I've had it about 15 years. And it's worked perfectly until last week. And it's doing something a bit weird. And I thought it was really interesting, which is why I'm going to do a video about it. So, it's kind of strange. I've never come across this sort of issue before. Not on something like this anyway. I don't do a lot of consumer gear though, so it's not too surprising. But I'm going to demonstrate the problem. And the display is on, but it's very dim because it's the way it is. If I turn my lights off, you might be able to see a bit better. Turn that one off here, now you can see the display. Alright. There you go, Bluetooth muted. Now, if I unmute it, I don't know if you can hear that. Static. Why would you get static on Bluetooth? It's a digital signal. That's kind of weird. Now if I go through into different inputs, so it's USB, that's silent. SD card, that's silent. Auxiliary input, also the same. Static. Weird. iPod, silent. Input on the FM, there's the noise, right? FM static. Now, although we're getting static on that input on the Bluetooth, if I have a radio station tuned in, you can hear the radio station coming through. Now, I've obviously detuned it off a radio station, so it's a static. Otherwise, I'll get copyright strikes or God knows what I'll do in the video. So I've intentionally made it so there's nothing coming through apart from static. But when there was a radio station tuned in, you could hear it on the Bluetooth or on the auxiliary input. So the radio is coming through those two audio lines. So that's unusual. Yeah, it must be digital switching of some kind. But the weird thing is, when I first turned this thing on, it wasn't doing it. It's been turned off for like a week now. And I plugged it in and tried it, and it was behaving. And when I turned the volume up, then it started doing it. So that was quite interesting. Now, seeing Saturday night, I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to have one of these. I don't often drink. It's very rare. I think the last one was about a month ago, maybe a bit longer than that, actually. But we're here doing this, so let's do something a bit different. Okay. So now I've demonstrated a fault. There's the iPod port in the top there, as you can see, 30-pin connector, old style. I'm going to take this thing apart. We'll turn the power off obviously first. Take it apart, dismantle it, and see what we can find as far as audio circuitry. There must be some kind of switching in there, which is switching between the audio paths. So we probably have to try and trace the radio circuitry and maybe the Bluetooth. Or, I don't know, maybe we can find audio from the auxiliary. Maybe following the auxiliary would be an easy one because that's analog inputs. Maybe follow those and try and see where they converge, because it should be an IC or something somewhere which switches those paths. Now I'm hoping it's a simple analog switching system which is gone. Maybe it's something like a 4066 analog switch. I doubt it's that simple, but we'll have a look. At the very least, it's going to be interesting to have a look inside it. Hey bucko, how's it going? Right, let's unplug the power. Don't pull it apart with that in there. Let's take all this out. Turn this light back on again. Now it's got recessed screws, but luckily I can get to them. That's nice. Alright, let's get this thing opened up. Recessed screws, but they're actually straight Phillips. So no issues there. No security torques or anything like that, or some sort of weird security bit. It's all straight in, basic Phillips screws. No issue whatsoever. Exactly the way it should be. Repairable, hopefully. I'll get all these out, then I'll come back. Go on, lift out. There we go. I need to magnetise the screw a little bit more. That's good for you as it was for me. It didn't work. Come on, come here. There you go. 2, 4, 6. Yes. Right, where's the split? Feels like there's more somewhere. I'll try these two as well, eh? Right, hopefully that's all the screws out. Okay. Trying to see how to organise this so I can get the cover off without stressing any cabling. Oh, well, to start off with, there's got some bad caps in there, so it could be easy. Let's see if I can unplug this. Trying to see where I unplug it from. I think I have to unplug it from the main board down the bottom here. Let's do this. It is all glued as well, which is nice. Got some little retaining glue to help hold it in place. And all the cans are different sizes, even better. Come on, let's go. There we go. Right, there's the top cover part. This has actually got an interesting thing where there's a touch sensor, and this isn't the best touch sensor, to be honest. It's a bit glitchy, but it does kind of work. Alright, and here's the inside. Obviously got the big speaker cavities over here. These speakers are actually surprisingly good. They're very bassy, actually, probably a bit too bassy. So there's the main board there, and we've got connectors going into it, which is fine. And big blown out caps right here. Now there's a Bluetooth module there. You've got the SD card and stuff coming through here. So I'm guessing this is the audio input from the auxiliaries there. Or is it over here? I don't know. Actually, there's a cable there. That's the auxiliary there. I'm trying to see where that goes to. Pops up over here. So there's auxiliary input there. So that one there is also giving trouble. Let's give it a closer. Alright, so there's the auxiliary inputs there, which is one which has also got the radio coming through. Pops up over here. Alright, so it goes right there. Bluetooth is here. So that'll be coming down here somewhere too. But there's these two bad caps. Now, could it be simple as a power supply problem causing the chips to get confused? Absolutely could be. But if that's right there, there's a good chance that as a chip, maybe that chip right there might be switching audio. Standard ripple projection, yeah, I mean, it's obviously got an internal switching supply there. Maybe this will help. But it looks like that board's going to be easy to get out. It's got a switch mode supply over this side. But it's got inductors through here, so it's also going to be switching down there too. Some discrete switching supplies. There's a chip in the middle with some probably a switch controller, I'm guessing. That's probably a DSP or something just there. Or is that the Bluetooth module there? I mean, I don't know, it's blue there. DBM V1. I mean, this looks like the Bluetooth module up there. Let's get him closer. Give you guys a better look. I can get him close on this. Let's do digital zoom. Let's get a waveform symbol on it. It's interesting. Alright, I've got the digital zoom on there and zoom right in. Trying to see the best way of getting the numbers off that chip. There we go. There you can see them. WM8978G. Is that then 21H or AH? A4? Maybe. This seems like that could well be a an audio switching device. Seems it's, you know, audio waveform sort of lends itself to it, doesn't it? And we've got those strips going up to there. See those traces, STM. So that's obviously a controller. Set device over there. 0520BY45. Don't know, could be anything. But yeah, I'm thinking this vicinity over here. Now, what's that chip under there? It's got a lot of goop around the pins, interestingly. So they goop around the pins. That's an interesting. It's like glued down. That's strange. Or is that corrosion of some kind from these two caps which have both gone up? I think this board's got to come out. Got some markings on this one, 3.3 volts and stuff. A few markings over there too. So we need to do some tracing and faulty checks, we can do that. But straight away, those two caps are gone. And that chip is not looking very happy. Not quite sure what's going on there. It doesn't look corroded, but it's all white, which is weird. Can't say I've seen that sort of thing before. Chips to run ripple pulses. Anyway, let's take this board out. Need to make sure I don't get connections mixed up. Interesting, left and right cross over each other. The opposite sides. Does it really matter? Probably not. Just noticed that these speakers are crossed over, so the right speaker is going to the left connector and vice versa. I'm not sure if it really matters. Now that one there, is that a connector or not? Yeah, it is. Okay. And I was taking a connector off something the other day, and the whole bloody plug came off the circuit board. The whole socket just came with it. So I'm nervous about taking these connectors off now. I had to repair that, obviously. And that's a review item I was doing. You'll see that soon. The next, maybe next week. Actually, I'm not sure when it's going to be. It'll be next week. Next week, this week. I don't know. You see it soon anyway. Alright, come on, unplug. Okay, can't grab hold of this one properly. This could be something I end up regretting doing. Yeah, it's not going to work either. No. Come on, come off. Let's try this way. I think the whole connector is going to come with it. The whole socket. It's looking like it. It's through hole, so I'm not too worried, but I think it's glued on too well. It's starting to come now. Yeah, there we go. It's that bloody glue, it's too good. hands are too big to get in here. That's awkward. Come on. That whole connector's coming with it. It's through hole as well, looks of it, so I'm not too worried. But there's obviously the housing's coming with it. I don't want that to happen. Too late for coffee here. Well, I had a coffee not long before I started the stream. Maybe that's why I don't sleep properly. Come on. Come on, come off. Don't be a bastard. Here we go. I think I've got it. Yep, it's that bloody glue, right. Okay. So one more connector at the front here, got to get off. And then I've got the AC input, which shouldn't be too hard. There we go, got that one. Okay, so the AC input off. I'll do this, Right, got the connectors off. Some of these are quite a mission to get out. The glue is working really well. They actually seem to have chosen a suitable glue for that job. A lot of times it's like nothing. They almost just like fall off when you touch them, but this one, not the case. So anyway, at least we can get this board out nice and easily. This is, in a way, it's actually very well designed. Sure, some more screws are somewhere. One there. Switch my power supply, so obviously high voltage, be careful. Capacitor's probably still charged up. Could easily get a zap off this. It's one of those things you get used to dealing with. So this is pretty straightforward so far. Grab hold of that cap, because that won't have a charge on it, hopefully. And unhook this. Oh, there's another cable there. And that is the antenna for the Bluetooth. Where does that go to? Don't know, can't see. I must figure that one out. No, I'm not cutting the wire, don't worry. There's a cable tied us there, I'm just getting rid of that. Where does it go? Disappears underneath the speaker. Oh no, it's the antenna for that. It goes to there. Right, that's just not a Bluetooth antenna, it's a radio tuning antenna. So that's Bluetooth, that'd be radio. Okay. So in that case, I will desolder that. So looking at this more closely, that's just the antenna for the radio, not the Bluetooth. Right, because it's got a radio tuner on it as well, obviously. And that's going to the socket on the back here, just there. That's where the antenna plugs in for the radio. So I think it's just this plain wire. Just going to double check. Yeah, it is. So I'm just going to desolder that. That would be far easier than trying to take it off a connector. Just must forget to put it back on again after. Right, let's get this off. Should be easy. Just must forget to put it back on when I'm finished. Board's out. Oh, is this chat still working or is the thing frozen up? That's what my tablet likes to do, is freeze the chat up. Let's check the other side. Check the computer. No, it's still the same. That's cool. Right. I think I'm going to turn my air conditioning on actually. It's a bit warm in here. Just give me a minute. currently 27. It's getting a bit too hot. Now, if I had the door open, it'd be easy because it's cold out there. It's probably about 14 degrees out there. But there's ginger cats out there, and they're going to be in here annoying me otherwise. Okay. Safety first. Let's check these caps. The bottom side looks interesting. Started using the Keysight one recently. I haven't used it in a while. I've been using the Fluke 87. I had the 117 before that, wasn't it? No, sorry, 175. That's right. I had that one there before. I thought it was time to use the Keysight one. Since they gave it to me for free, I should probably use it occasionally in videos. Right. Check voltage on here. 7 volts, that's fine. And the secondary side over here. Fine. I suppose I should do it on video, shouldn't I? So, let's checking the safety and make sure I'm not going to zap myself on the power supply because there's a switch mode, and there's a big bolt cap sitting at 7.8 volts. So that's perfectly fine, no danger there. It's not like it's sitting at 400 volts or something, which it could be. It's not, it's fine. There's bloody ugly glue on these. I thought the digitals in tonight, haven't I? That's why I'm having trouble being too close. Here we go, that's better. So, we've got this ugly glue over here. This is interesting. So you can see, these are crystals. And it's got this really ugly glue. I'm really not liking that. And obviously got to glue things down to hold them so they don't like flap around and fall off or whatever. But having old crusty glue across the actual connections of the crystal, that's not good. Because some old glues can actually get conductive, and it can actually potentially even stop the crystals from working properly. So that's interesting. I'm tempted to actually scrape all this off and replace it with some new stuff. Before I do that, let's see if there's any conductivity here. No, not really. I've got the probes really close together, not quite touching, and there's nothing really showing up there. Yeah, so it's fine. They're not conductive, which is good. Still not liking it though. Right, let's have a close look at this myself. Bit of a study of it. Just looking for any bad solder joints, all that sort of stuff. There's actually quite a few bits here which got extra flux on, like it's been reworked. So this heatsink here be on top of the audio amplifier, because that's the audio outputs just here. So that's when that'll be there. I'm just looking around to see if I can see any like bad solder joints anywhere, just in case it's something weird like that. But there's some bits of flux around. It looks like something's been reworked. No, there's bits of flux over here and a couple of other spots like over there, but that capacitor there. So it looks like it has had repairs done. So that's interesting. Definitely check all these caps in here as well. Just looking for the switching cap for this thing. It might be that one. It's called the actual chip. It's right by the switcher, so I think it probably is that one. Yeah. Yeah. So that cap there is the one that's used for the switching chip, which is over here. So that's the sort of cap you'd normally see failing in a switch mode supply, is a smaller one, which runs a chip, if you don't see the secondary ones failing. But as you can see here, these ones are gone. But these are part of the audio amplifier circuitry, so I doubt that's actually having an effect. Now this is a super cap down here, and it looks like it's leaked. Some gunk on the top. See this? So it's a 5.5 volt, 0.22 farad, and the top is not looking very good. See this? That's not meant to be there, I'm pretty sure. So I think that cap's gone. Should probably do something with that. But those ones are gone, those are going. 680 microfarad, 25 volt, both the same, I expect. Yep. So a bit of recapping is required, but it still doesn't really solve our issue of what's going on with this audio circuitry. So this is Bluetooth module. That's the antenna input here. So this is probably the radio tuner. So this will have an audio output. So I'm just trying to see what pass we've got. There's a pass coming around here, underneath this cap. Does that sound coincidental to you? And running underneath, and it could be popping up over here. Can't see. So the fact that you've got those traces coming under here, which is probably the radio tuner, underneath that cap which is leaking, that could well be a clue what's going on. And there's some dirt on the board just over there. Come on, focus. Yeah. So that is suspicious. Could have affected traces over there. And this is the audio input from the auxiliary jack, which has also got issues. So I'm actually thinking this is the chip we need to be looking for as the audio switcher, because we've got those traces come down. There's 3, so it could be left, right, and a common. There could be another path, but that's the one it looks like it's coming down this way, and that's right there too. So it's all in a really close vicinity. Then we've got this weirdness going on with this chip too. So we've got a few things in this proximity to look at. But yeah, a few things to sort out. The glue on the connectors is soft and pliable. So although it's the same colour, this is actually soft. It's almost like silicon. Like silicon matte, not silicon glue. Like silicon sealant sort of stuff. It feels a bit like that, you know, it's rubbery. Like silicon rubber glue. Whereas this is crunchy glue. It's not the same stuff. It's rock hard. So although you think it maybe is the same, you'd think you'd use the same stuff, wouldn't you? But it certainly isn't the same, at least in the way it's aged. Although that bit there feels a bit soft, so I don't know. There's a bit there which feels a little bit soft. So interesting. Now I know I do actually have some supercaps somewhere. Yeah. Not sure where. No, I did buy some one time. I didn't get many, I got a couple. But no, I do have some. Where would I put those? Got to think about that. I know where they used to be, but that was years ago. Where are they now? Yeah, 680s. I need to replace those anyway. Ooh. Oh. That's not good. Oh. Oh dear. I need to get some more capacitors. They're 35 volts as well, I think, not 25s. Yeah, these are slightly bigger. I actually just ordered a bunch of capacitors from DigiKey and a whole bunch of other parts. Like $700 worth of stuff. That should be arriving any day now. Yeah, where the hell did I put those bloody caps? I know I've got some. I've bought them for doing CB radio work, because some CBs use them. Where are they? I'm just looking now on the outside of the room. See if anything rings a bell. Where on earth would I put them? I know I've got some. It's always the mystery. Where did I put the damn things? Well, I can't see anything so far, which is kind of annoying. I've got a various drawer, so we can hear. Are they in there? No. I know I've got some. Where? Because what I used to use them in for was the Uniden / President HR2510, President Lincoln, those radios, amateur radios, because they've got a daughter board which has got a processor on it, and that uses a big super cap on that. And so I got some for doing those. So when I did come across situations where those are blown, capacitors have failed, I've have parts to replace them with. So I know I have some. I mean, they may not even be any good now, I don't know, but they've had them sitting around for years. But that's kind of academic if I can't find the things, eh? I don't know where they are. Oh well, that's a mystery. I might have to substitute something else. But that's definitely gone anyway. No, let's test these other caps. We know we've got those two we have to replace anyway, but they're, so that's audio amplifier section. That'd be a post-pull kind of, I don't know, maybe class D, I've got no idea what it'd be, but there's inductors here and caps, so these are polarised caps as well, surprisingly. So that's obviously main local supply regulation for plus and minus supplies. I suppose I should be doing a video about this when I'm explaining this part, shouldn't I? So this is audio circuitry. So that could actually be an audio processor chip there, I'm guessing, but you get amplifier on the bottom there. So we've got some inductors here. Well, I believe we're inductors anyway. I think they are. And we've got those two caps which have both failed. Now these are probably power supply. I'll try to say it again. There's probably power supply local regulation, because obviously the amplifier is going to be drawing a fair amount of current because it's an amplifier, and so it needs a bit of extra reinforcement locally to help boost it up so it doesn't suffer with bass response, that kind of thing. If your power supply is weak, your bass response will drop off. So that's what those will be doing. So I mean, the audio is working fine. So these, although they're bad, it's not what's causing our problem. But anyway, fortunately I've got to take this heatsink off to get to those. Let's check these other caps anyway, and we can get to ones we can get to, and we'll see what we can test. These caps should be discharged, so we'll discharge them like this, you know, because that's perfectly safe, isn't it? Now this big one up here, I'm going to do exactly the same thing to this. Put it in my spark. It didn't. It's been sitting there for a while, so it's probably discharged by itself by now. And got one over here as well. Discharge that too. And this one here somewhere. There. This isn't really the right way of doing it, but you know, if you want to be gentle with them, you can do it differently. Using a resistor. I'm not gentle. So let's measure these caps here. 0.14. Yeah, can't get a reading off that one. It's in circuit, but it's not surprising. The ESR doesn't look too bad. 0.15. That's 1200 microfarad. It's probably in parallel with this one. It is. So it should go the same. This one's a separate supply rail, but they look fine. Let's check this one down here, which is the switcher cap. In fact, it's booting up and running. It should probably be fine. Let's do it again. Didn't like that. It might be because I was moving at the time. Come on, I think I've confused it. I think I just confused it. I just crashed this thing. Never had that happened before. Right, do this again. Oh, I did discharge it, you saw me do it, so here we go. No, this can't read it. So it can't read that cap. So this one may be on the way out. After all, it wouldn't surprise me if it is. What is it? It's a 22 microfarad 50 volt. Let's replace that as well. I have plenty of those. That won't be a problem. Let's get one from the bottom, where it's probably not the best quality. I've got the better ones on top of that. Don't care too much about these. 63 volt, that'll do. So we replace that one, replace those two. We've got this one here, which I can replace. I can get to that one and that one. I didn't actually discharge it, did I? That one there is here, I think. Was it there? Maybe that one. Oh my god, I haven't finished with it yet. Point 3, 1200. That's probably on the other supply rail, and the other big one there. .15. That's the other big supply rail as well. So it's probably directly across these supply rails, since those readings are very similar. The only way to test those probably is take them out of circuit, and I'm not going to bother doing that. I do need to take the heatsink off so I can get to these two caps to replace those. The rest of them I won't worry about, apart from that switcher one, because it wasn't looking too happy about that. Now how do I get this bloody heatsink off here? I'm going to have to desolder yeah, I'm going to have to desolder these pins, because it's got pins which push into the heatsink. So I've got to desolder the circuit board to get that out. Not too bad. Right. Just drop this down a bit. I feel like a bit high up. Alright, let's try and desolder this and see how we go. I'm hoping I can just lift it up off one side and just bend it, but I don't think it's going to be possible. This is a lot of thermal mass. I might need to change the tip and put the temperature up. It's looking a bit like that. I'll try putting the temperature up first, see if that'll do it. Nope. Not doing it. Okay, yeah, changed it. Okay, big tip. and the temperature's set at 370, so it should make a difference. Still struggling with that. I may need to put some leaded solder on it. So here we go. Heatsink's getting warm. Solder's not melting now. Okay, let's put some leaded solder on this. This crappy flux one. Well, it's actually still good solder, but it's chunky, so I don't use it very much. Just for this sort of thing. Come on, lift off the board. It may also be stuck to the chip. Here we go. Right, brilliant. Interesting design heatsink. Okay, so look at this. So there's a lump on the heatsink there, which goes through, touches onto the bottom of the actual IC down there. It's also mounted on the other side of the board. That chip. So that's the, must be the amplifier. So that chip there, the audio waveform on it, must be the amplifier. Because that's what's getting cooling. Interesting. Compound's still wet. Probably use refreshing though. Alright. Well, now we can get to those capacitors. Let's try and break this glue off first. Make it easier. This is glue, here's soft. Right, I'm going to do more damage by trying to get this off than anything else. Am I looking in the wrong place? No, that is wrong. That is the amplifier. I was looking at this bloody chip here. I'm talking crap. So I was losing my bearings on this when I was flipping it over. That chip there is the amplifier, which is what I thought was the amplifier. Not that one. I don't know what I was thinking of that when I was flipping it over. That chip's right up here. So yes, that one there. That's the one that's got the pad on the back for the cooling. I do like the fact they actually got things going down to hold everything steady to reduce stress on it. I do like the fact they've actually done that. Looks like they've actually done a decent build quality. So I think an edifier is actually right. The fact they put that sort of detail in it. Some cheaper brands wouldn't have done that at all. They wouldn't have bothered. So I'm happy with that. Okay, I'll do. Negative towards the end of the board. Just change this tip again. Do you think I should change the tip? Maybe. Right, turn the temperature down a bit though. Avoid kicking, at least cooking the board in the process. So negative towards me. Maybe I'll do both at once if I'm lucky. Nah, not quite. It's not cooperating too well. Get this out of the way. Come on. Let's bend it over that way. Throw mass in this area is pretty impressive. Right, get my solder sucker going too. So at least the negatives are marked. I was having trouble because I was actually going to bend it off the silicon at the same time. I'm only sitting at 330 right now. That might be a mistake. Might have to go a little bit warmer. Alright, that's that cap out. So note the polarities opposite of each other. Just got to clean those holes out and put the new ones in. And while I'm waiting for that to warm up still, let's change this one. Negative is also marked as well, that's good. We use this massive tip still, so I couldn't bother changing it. Not very professional, but you know, yeah. Sometimes it's not worth bothering. Although I'm not liking the way this is going. That silicon's in the way. Held by silicon again. Yeah, study lead through solder, man. Jeez. It's a pain. Okay. That's that one out. Now it's just cleaned up. Block chip. Guessing there's a good thermal mass on the other side. Yeah, there is. Might have to mess around with that one, get that one through. Let's see we go. This board is scary clean before I solder the next one on. It's pretty ugly. Thermal mass on this thing is actually surprisingly high. That's why I'm doing a long residual waiting time before I actually try and suck the solder away, trying to get heat right through the board to improve my chances of actually working, but that hasn't done it at all on either of those. And it sounds like it's blocking up, because why wouldn't it? Better. Let's try this one over here again. Really should have my fume extractor going. But it's bloody noisy. There's not actually that much solder fume coming off this, so. Still not sure if I've got that yet. That's clear. Oh, it is clear. Right. Clear. Clear. Great. All clear. Alright, let's clean this mess off here. So I'll clean this mess off here first, and I'll clean it. Once it's cleaned up, then I'll put those new devices in there. devices, parts, devices. Are they? The worst of it, not too worried about. I mean, is this going to change anything? The actual issue we've actually come to investigate? I don't know. So that cap there is also underneath the heatsink, so I need to deal with that as well before I put the heatsink back down again too. Finishing roll of solder, yeah. I mean, I've been using this roll here for about 2 years now. I've got about 6 more rolls like that, and I've got some bigger ones as well. I stocked up, and it started getting apparent that lead solder was getting hard to get. Right, let's put some flux on these, just to improve the chances of this were going well. And also over here, although I haven't cleaned this one up yet, I'm not going to worry about it. So it wasn't as hard to get undone as the other one was. Right, new cap. Check the polarity. Always watch out for polarity. Then once you put it in and you're sure you've got the polarity right, check it again. And I can't get this to line up to the hole. Here we go. Just like that, I did put the polarity. I did put it in backwards. See, this is why you always double check. That's right, the study silicon's getting in the way. Okay, here we go. Now it's right around. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? That's why you double check. So easy to do it wrong. Getting distracted by talking. Come on, here you go. That was clear. Here we go. Right. So I doubt replacing these caps is actually going to solve the issue we had. Very much doubt that. But it needed doing anyway. Come on, get in there. Right, get these bedded down to the board and solder those in. I'm going to bore you with that. Unfortunately, I'm going to bore you guys with that. I should really change this tip. This is just silly. Let's go back to the other one. That feels much better. Getting some buffering, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm dropping a few frames here and there. Let me drop it down a bit more. Shouldn't be dropping frames, it's already really low. Damn thing. Okay, I'll drop it down by 100 bits. That might be enough to make a difference. That only really matters when you're getting like a big camera movement, you know, like me doing this. That might cause issues. Okay. Let's do this. Try and get a shot for the camera. Right, I'm ready to solder these in. I'm going to do one leg at a time, so then I can try and bed these down onto the circuit board, get them as flat as I can onto the board. Then I'll come back and do them properly. I gave in and changed the tip back. Just didn't feel like using a massive tip doing this sort of job. Just feels wrong. Feels a bit bodgy. Now these caps are slightly thicker than the original ones, they're a bit slightly wider, so they're not fitting quite as well because of the silicone that's sitting there still. Come on, solder. My temperature might be a bit high actually. Okay, so those two. Okay, I'll do this one. This one's staying off the wall anyway because the spacing's very wrong for the size of the capacitor. The original one was the same. Right, cutters. Save these, they come in really handy. Always save the legs of capacitors. Really great for making jumpers or doing PCB repairs like traces and things like that. If you're doing like breadboard stuff, you can make jumpers out of these to do the breadboard work, to link tracks together, that kind of thing. Right. You can see this flux is a bit burnt. That's why I was saying the temperature is a bit high. This flux does tend to burn a bit easy for my liking. Do. So just put these probes back on before I forget about these. Okay, that's those bits there cleaned up. Now I've got to look at this super cap before I put that heatsink back down again. Where the hell was those capacitors? Where are they? One thing, my parts box. I've got a box just called parts, which is where I keep all like overflow and generic stuff, things which don't really have another home, or they're well, my parts drawers are full and they won't fit, that kind of thing. What are getting in there? So 2.2 farad. Oh, 0.22 farad, wasn't it? That's right on it. Yeah, 2.2 farad. What if I just put a generic capacitor in there? Well, that's not going to be quite the same, is it? Just look in case I've got them anywhere else. Should have put them in my tantalum drawers or something. No, I haven't. No. It's annoying. Oh, I've got some. Oh yeah, I showed this in my bag recently. You'll see it soon. Not sure which, might be next week. Magnetic tool holder thing. It doesn't work very well. At least not on my tools. It works well on like this. That stuck really well. These screwdrivers, nah. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with steel they're made from, I don't know, but wasn't impressed by it. You'll see that in the video anyway. Right, study supercap. I'm going to do with this thing. I've got heaps of room here, so I could put in some other kind of generic capacitor, but obviously supercaps are supercaps because they've got really low losses. They'll sit there holding a voltage for a very long time. It's like a memory backup thing, isn't it? So I don't know. I mean, I think the memory is still working though. That's the weird thing. I mean, is it actually leaking or not? Is it just that it looked like it was leaking? It's that bloody glue. Nah, it's that bloody glue. Oh, is it? I don't know. There's definitely some glue on top of it. But it isn't actually losing memories, so I think that cap might still be working. Which takes away some of my theories about what's wrong with this thing. Hey, there's a part there which isn't soldered. What the hell? Could that be it? Oh, you're kidding me. Alright, I found something interesting. So, I was looking really closely at the top of this cap, which I thought was leaking, but actually looking at it closer, it might have been some of that glue which has just gone crusty. Because I've sort of given it a bit of a scrape and it's just like, it's come off and it's red like the glue. I'm thinking, actually, maybe that cap's not literally bad at all. And, because I was thinking, it isn't losing memory, right? This is a memory backup thing for, you know, what mode it's in, that sort of stuff. And that still works. You can leave the thing off for a week and it still works perfectly fine. So that cap isn't dead. So I was looking a bit closer and I just noticed something over here. Let me show you. Might have to do digital zoom, we'll see. Can you see it yet? How about now? Can you see it now? How about now? I'm wondering if that should be soldered on. What do you think? Do you think those legs should be soldered? And what are those parts? Those parts, well, I don't lose where it is, are the legs from that crystal oscillator, or that crystal. So if that crystal is not actually soldered properly, yeah, still got this weirdness around here. Wondering if that's just over spill from this actually. Let's look at this too while I'm thinking about it. Is this soft? It might be silicon. Oh yes, it's silicon. Or maybe even, that might be thermal compound actually. Yeah, that's thermal compound. That's fine, don't worry about that. Yeah, I mean, it could be soldered on the bottom side, but it doesn't look very good. Give it some of this crusty glue. I'm going to take it out here, aren't I? Yeah. So I want to slip and break the leg off the crystal. Perfectionism has its price sometimes. So it's just crusty as hell, yeah. It's just doesn't look good. Anyway, I want to try and etch this away so I can see what's actually there. I need some sharp tweezers and a magnifier. I'll zoom out a bit so you can see what I'm doing. there is some solder there. Well, scraped away the bottom side, and there is definitely some solder there, so it's not completely bad, but it's always a really bad idea to rely on the vias, right, the actual through-hole plating, because those can fail. I've seen equipment before, namely is a Uniden scanner, old Uniden scanner, radio scanner thing, and it had loads of these vias going through the board, through-hole plating sort of thing, and loads of them have failed. There's no corrosion, they just stopped working, and I spent hours and hours fixing all these vias, resoldering, getting plugs of solder right through them all. So I'm always suspicious of through-hole plating being relied upon. So this is going to be soldered up, and maybe it will do something, maybe it won't. You're going to China tomorrow. I might visit Sotec. Oh, okay. God, what's the guy's name I talked to over there? The representative I have from Zotec. Jesus, his name's gone out of my head. Yeah. I don't know, say hello from me then. I can't remember the guy's name. It's gone. Nah, can't think what it was. Yeah, can't think of the guy's name. That's going to bug me now. I'll have to go and look it up. Come on. Started hearing too well. We're in the end. Barely. Julie, July. That's the name it goes by, Julie. So if you happen to interact with Julie, say hello from me. He sends me equipment to do reviews on every once in a while. Right, so we have found some problems and fixed them. I'm going to clean the flux up from the area because oscillators and crystals really do not like having flux on them. Always clean flux off. It's a really bad idea not to do that. I'll get some more tissue out of my box. Now, as far as this residue around this chip goes, I'm suspicious it may cause issues. Maybe it's causing leakage. Let's see if I can get some of it out of there. Don't know, maybe. Let's get a different brush. Like I said, I think that chip there is what I'm just doing the switching. But if there's an issue with leakage in the area, then it could be a power supply problem going to that chip where it's not behaving properly because the supply is weak and it's not switching properly. No, I don't know. Let's get some of it off anyway. Right, now do I put this down or not? I'm thinking that supercap might be right. I didn't short it out, so see if there was any voltage on it. 0.7 volts still sitting on it. So there's still voltage on that cap. Not a lot, but there's some there. So I don't think it's completely dead. I'm going to put this back down again. Thermal compound. Thermal compound. Who is that? Thought I had a little syringe of it. What happened to that? Sure I had a little... Okay, what have I done with that? Because I decant this stuff into a smaller one sometimes. This stuff's a bit chunky. Oh well, this will do. That's what we're going to get. Might be a bit much. I'll clear the hole out. I'll wake my desoldering gun up. I forgot to do that. Hey, Rilla, how's it going? I've got a Keysight DMM 7510 on its way to me. Don't know what sort of condition it's actually in. Didn't actually specify. Bit of a gamble. It came from China, but then they made in China as well. So I don't know. That could be interesting. See how good it is. I'm hoping it's good. I actually want to put it on my desk to replace my Siglent 3065X because I want more resolution. I'm finding that it's a bit limiting sometimes having only 6.5 digits. Only 6.5 digits. I might have to put some more solder on this. We'll see how we go. No, it's gone. Sweet. So I'm hoping that multimeter arrives on Monday. That's what I'm hoping for. Come on, go in. Is that not lining up right? Got way too much thermal compound on there. Just spread it over there a little bit. Yeah, so I'm sort of got my fingers crossed that that thing's actually okay. You just don't bloody know what you're going to get, do you? Could be rubbish. Could be absolutely good. Could be perfect. Could be really good. Right, I need more heat on this again. Right. Push it down. Flow through. Flow. Yes, I'm hoping that meter turns up on Monday. Although, actually no, it won't do. I'll probably have to pay duty on it because it's coming from China, and when you buy stuff from eBay, as I found out recently, you buy stuff on eBay from China, it doesn't get taxed automatically. So when it comes into the country, I then have to pay duty on it. So it's an extra cost. I mean, it's a cost which is, it's expected, but on eBay normally you buy stuff, it's automatically on there. It's just part of the cost. It automatically calculates it. But when it comes from China, it doesn't do that. I'll still have to do this. There we go. That looks better. See how brown it is when I was struggling to get the thing desoldered. Right. So I fixed those two caps, although that was not actually sitting very straight, but bloody silicon's in the way. We'll fix those three caps. Identified that supercat's probably alright after all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What else are we going to look at here? We've got a surface mount caps. I haven't looked at those, but they're probably okay. I mean, I don't know. Actually, maybe they might not be. So let's look at this audio pathing, which is what we kind of went in it from the very beginning. So you can see anything there. Pay in advance, and yeah, okay. Well, I mean, when I buy stuff on eBay, it's part of the process. You know, you pay the purchase price and the postage price and the GST, as it's called over here, goods service tax, and that's added on. So it's just part of it. You just expect it to happen. But when you buy it from China, it doesn't happen. Well, I'll get a microscope on this and have a closer look at that part. But this multimeter I purchased was quite expensive. I've had a really expensive couple of months. I kind of went overboard, really. I spent too much. I spent way too much in the past 2 months. That's it around this one, I think. Alright. So I want to look really closely at this thing and see if I can see any problems or not. Like, you know, a hole in it or something like that, you know. Alright. Let's adjust the camera to look at the screen. It's not as good as taking a video straight out of it, but that's what we'll do. Alright, so I'll set the microscope up here to look at this chip, which is where I think the audio is going into. I need to really find out if I can find a data sheet for this thing. But a whole bunch of capacitors there, which is interesting. Capacitors with some 5k resistors. I think they're 5k. Tantalum there. And then we've got some, yeah, those are feeding to the chip. So this is the audio input here, the aux audio input, and they're coming through here. You can probably just see they're going to the chip. Maybe you can just see it, get the light there, right? Yeah, for those two resistors, it's going through. So down there and down there, they're going to this chip. So the audio input is going to there from the auxiliary. And we've got those other traces come through, which I think from the Bluetooth, which come under here somewhere. And kind of disappear. There they go. There they are. So you've got one to the Bluetooth. Was it already audio transformer? Sorry, that's the radio come through. So radio come through down here. There's the two traces just there. Again, you don't know whether you can see it. The camera reflecting. Let's try and test around a bit. And try and get some better lighting in there. There we go. So you just see the traces going through there. Underneath the marking C270 and T347. There's two traces going down there. They run down. That's from the audio radio receiver, and they come down also to this chip, as you can see to those N2 pins. So yeah, this chip does appear to be the audio switching device. So there's probably some more traces from the Bluetooth over here as well. Where they are, don't know. Could it be that pair there, maybe? Going to those wires and popping up. And it could be. Yeah, so I'm thinking this chip is potentially the problem where we're getting those issues. Now, as you had power supply problems with those capacitors being bad, that may have been affecting the supply and causing some issues with that chip. But if not, then this chip here could be bad. That's what I'm suspecting. Hey Kuro, how's it going? They ask you 19% of the shipping fee. If I pay duty when it comes into the country, it actually costs me more. So if it's done on eBay, it'll cost me the GST amount. That's it. But if it comes into the country, then I've got to do it. They then charge administration fees and processing fees, which literally add on 30 or 40% of the cost. It's horrendous. So you don't get the 15% GST like it would be. I'm paying, more like 30%. It's just horrendous. Yeah, it's awful. It's a con. It really is a con. But can't do anything about it. It is what it is. You can't not pay it. You don't get your goods otherwise. It's just extortion, really. Anyway. So here you can see we've got some resistors coming out from the sides here. There's 470s going into that chip. I'm guessing that jumps over, or maybe jumps over there. I don't think it jumps over that way. I think it probably jumps over this way. So there's probably audio input over there. Yeah. Could it be a shorted capacitor? Could it be? Doubt it. We could check for shorted caps just in case. It's unlikely though. Well, the shipping prices are also horrendous, so it's not just that. Shipping prices, yeah, can't stand the bloody process. Let's have a look at these capacitors. See, they're shorted. Just in case they are. Never bloody know, do you? This has got nice fast reaction. Very fast, this one. Let's just try and get this a bit better. I'm doing right out. I've got digital zoom on still, have I? Yes, I do. That makes more sense. Right. So I was going to measure these capacitors around that chip, just in case there's a shorted ceramic capacitor. MLCCs, they do go bad. So I'm just going to have a quick poke around, just in case there's something there which isn't quite right. I'm using the Keysight 1282A, which is a very fast tester on that one. It's one of the nice things about it. And let's just have a poke around, just in case one of these caps are shorted. I really doubt it will be, but you never know. Yeah, those are looking fine. Just in case, I was thinking maybe there's a short by one of the outputs on the actual chip. It could be overloading the chip and causing an internal issue. Nah, it all seems fine. I don't think there's any issues there. So I checked that row of caps right there, which you can't see on camera right now. There you go. So I checked that row there with those. I checked these ones here, and I checked those two up there. They're all fine. Suppose I could check those as well, but I don't think they're anything to do with it. Nah, that's all fine. That's all fine. So, yeah, I think we just put it back together as it is and see if replacing those caps has done anything, and give it a bit of a clean up and resoldering that crystal. You never know, that might be what is wrong with it. But if it's still bad, then maybe I should try and get one of those chips. UT210D. 210D. That's the clamp meter, isn't it? I've got one of those. Am I thinking the right one? Hold on. This thing. 210E. I've got an E. I don't know the difference between the D and the E. I don't know. I actually reprogrammed this one. I modified the firmware. So it defaults to DC current instead of AC current. and also adjusted the calibration slightly because it's slightly off. That's pretty cool. I didn't figure it out, someone else had already done it and I just copied what they did. I don't think I did a video about that. I was thinking about doing a video, but it's like, well, it's not really my thing. That particular part of it wasn't my creation, so I thought I'd leave it for the person which actually did do it. Yeah, I don't know if that'd be useful to you. Basically, as a file, you modify the contents of that file, and you can change the configuration in like default settings, things like that. You can change all those. But default into DC was much more useful to me than default into AC. The other thing is to change the counts, change it to a larger number of counts. That's the other thing it does too, which I thought was quite useful. Anyway, we shall try putting this thing back together, and if by some miracle it works, it'd be great. I would be surprised. Being clamp meters, you can kind of understand them being defaulting to AC, because a lot of time they are used on AC systems, like industrial use, that kind of stuff. But it's not really an industrial meter, is it? And it's low current, so low current you wouldn't really expect to be doing on a AC system. You'd expect to do lower currents on DC systems. So to me, defaulting to DC would actually make a hell of a lot more sense than defaulting to AC. Anyway, at least there's an easy fix for it. It did mean reprogramming it, but you need a programming header we can clip on to the actual chip, things like that. Those little SOP8 IC, SOIC 8 clips. One of those, you need to clip onto the IC and make sure you don't move as you're doing it, that sort of stuff. It's going to be fiddly, but it's better than taking the chip out. Anyway, let's clean up my desk a bit so I don't have too much of an issue with stuff around here. We could check these caps out too. See what they're actually like out of circuit. Trying to get rid of some of this mess. Never want to have any thermal compound lying around. Mustn't forget to put this on. I probably will. Which scope is there? Which scope do you mean? Resolder this wire on before I forget. I was ends up underneath the circuit board and going, why empty that wire? Not pretty, but it'll do. Let's actually put this one on first. This is a bit awkward because it actually wants to go underneath the board. Right. Where are you getting stuck? We've got the plugs out before I start pushing things down. Those ones there, right, okay. Always put the plugs on before you put screws in case you need to lift it back up again. Actually, I should record that, shouldn't I? So I'm putting it back together again now. Whenever you're putting cables and stuff back on again, always, where you can at least, Reattach the cables before you put the screws in. The reason being, if you have a cable which is trapped underneath the board and you don't notice it straight away, at least then it's not too much of an issue. Just lift the board up a little bit, unhook the cable and carry on. If you've already screwed the board down, you may have actually damaged something or twist the board or damage a cable before you even realise you've got one missing. So it's a good idea to go through and put all the cables in first and then screw it down. You can't always do that, but where you can, it's a good idea to do it. You can just save you some hassles later on. Right, so I've got empty plug there, empty plug there, empty plug there. So I should have 3 connectors on here. I do. Right, so that's all the top panel stuff. Let's put the screws back in. So it's got short screws at one end and long screws at the other. And when I do the long screw, I've got to also put this cover back on, which I need to do that first. Okay. It's a little bit fiddly. Trying to hold it and the cover and get it lined up. But that's okay. It's going in, but it's not lining up right. Oh, that spacer's loose, that's what it is, it's a loose spacer. Okay. That's not going in right. What's going on? That's not wanting to go in right. Let's try them screw first. I'll do these back ones first. One of them at least. Get some alignment. There we go. The power supply ones afterwards. Now I've got some alignment going on. Should be a bit easier to get in my place. Right, that's better. New MacBooks, oh yeah, flexes everywhere. I haven't done anything. I think the latest MacBook I've worked on is 2017, I think. I haven't worked on any of the later stuff. You know, I'm not really doing that much of it. So, but yeah, I don't know. Trying to see what I'm doing here at the same time. Am I still recording? I'm still recording. That's boring. I'll cut this bit out. Okay, so those in. Ian, yeah, this is my wife's unit. I bought it for about 15 years ago when we first got together to go with her iPhone. At the time she had an iPhone, she only just got it. That's my fault she got that as well, actually. And so in order to play music on the iPhone and stuff, I bought her this so she could play music on it, and in the hope that it'd be useful to her. And yeah. Now there's a connector up here. I don't remember unplugging anything from it. There's a connector up there. I don't remember unplugging anything from there. I guess that wasn't used. 20 volt 3 amp output. Maybe the test point. I don't know. I don't remember unplugging anything from there. There's no extra cables. No. But yeah, so it's my fault she's got that. And well, got this. So yes, it's hers. And she went to go and use it the other day and it just wasn't bloody working. Well, it was working, but this is as I demonstrated at the beginning, it's playing the radio all the time, regardless of what you do. Which isn't right. I think that's in right, is it? Right, let's see if we can plug back in. I think. Let's just power it back up again. Hey Dave. And we'll see what happens. Is it any different? Have the changes I've done fixed anything? Or is it that chip which is bad? Which I forgot to make a note of, which means now I'm going to have to go back and look at the video footage. Yay. I don't know why I'm plugging the antenna in. It probably doesn't actually matter if you're getting noise, does it? Right, well, plug that in. Turn the power on. Right, turn the power back on again. Let's come back to Bluetooth. No noise so far. Let's turn this light off. Let's see what happens. Now, when I did this before, as I wound the volume up, the noise came in. It's crackling and stuff. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Let's change input sources. USB. No noise. SD. No noise. Auxiliary. There was noise on this one before. Let's just try this one. That's what I'm saying about this being pretty useless. Just give me a normal dot. A normal dial would be far better. But no noise so far. iPod also quiet. Hopefully we get noise out of this. We do. Back to Bluetooth. No noise. Okay. Well, that's looking promising. It's not misbehaving now. Did I actually fix it? Let's get my phone. Don't know if my phone's actually got a link to this or not. So my wife's has linked to it. Bluetooth settings. Geez, what the hell is it called? Here it is. I haven't connected to this before. Well, it could have been that crystal which I resoldered. Don't forget, I didn't like to look at those crystal legs. And also that thermal compound around that chip as well. Clean it off a little bit too. I wasn't happy with that. So, dodgy crystal legs, bad capacitors. Yeah, well, last time it was... Once it failed, it was failed constantly. It didn't matter what you did, it didn't come right. When I turned this on before to test it, it worked for about 30 seconds, and then it failed. So it's already considerably better. So I'm now connected to it. Let's play something. I have to play someone's video, so I don't get a copyright strike or something. Well, that's interesting.
Almost like planned obsolescence. They're all failed around the same time. There's actually more of these with the same fault, but if I can make these work, I might get a bunch more. Now, the fault is you push start stop, and they don't go.
Well, that's Johnny's videos from today. Go watch that. Anyway, it's working. Very quiet. I'm not sure. I don't know why it's that quiet. I don't know. Is it normally that quiet on Bluetooth? Actually, no, Johnny. I think your video was a bit quiet. Actually, I should try another one. Dave did a video. Dave was always loud.
Roughly 400 watt-hour capacity out of this old thing. I thought I'd at 40 watts.
Yeah, here you go. But anyway, it's working. It's not making that weird noise. Let's wind it all the way up. I don't know what it goes to. 50. 50 is maximum.
No.
Yeah, no, exactly. Anyway, it ain't doing it anymore. It looks like I might have fixed it. Brilliant. I didn't record any of that. So, I tried it just now. No noise. There's no noise coming out of this. And when I play someone else's video, let's go back in here. I'm going to play someone's video because it's not music. I'm going to play Johnny's video.
Hey guys, I've got this Ultrac 495
right.
lap timer.
There's his video there.
I've actually got about 3 of them.
So that's working fine.
And they all have the same.
So it looks like I've actually fixed the damn thing. Didn't do that much. Now, was it a crystal? Potentially. Could have been causing some kind of issue. Maybe a timing issue or weak signal. Maybe it's a weak clock. Could have been capacitors. Potentially. There was 3 capacitors I changed. There was 2 which are blown up. 1 on the switching supply. But switching supply seemed to be running fine. So I don't really think it was that one. But the 2 which were blown up are on the amplifier. So they shouldn't have really affected any of the digital circuitry. But maybe it's upsetting the digital circuitry because there's so much ripple on it. Maybe? I don't know. Weird. Anyway, seems working now. We're winning chicken dinner, as Dave would say, indeed. Sounds like a smart guy. Indeed, Johnny. You can get a copyright from YouTube for playing another video. Yeah, if it's just a bit of an audio clip, I'm only playing a few seconds and stuff, so I'll probably get away with it, to be honest. And this is live stream, so I can edit it down when I do the actual final video. So I'm probably safe with that right now. Hope so, anyway. But if I actually include the footage as well, it's like a proper video copy, then, you know, maybe. But I do know, if you got like music, which that can be a problem. I got caught with that not long ago. I did a clip from, jeez, I forgot what it's called. I did a video clip. I'm Not Dead Yet. That clip. Monty Python. And although it was, I don't know how many years ago it's made. It was made a very long time ago. But, I mean, it's almost public domain, I think, because of the age. But I grabbed that little clip, and it's what, 8 seconds or something? Is it 10 seconds? I can't remember now. And yeah, I got hit with that. And the funny thing with that one was, I did a dispute on it, saying, look, you know, I've just claimed this, and it's just a little clip, and if anything, it's going to be adding popularity to Monty Python and stuff like that. I haven't used it to copy them, you know, or try and claim their rights. And I said, I think it's basically public domain. And the owners basically didn't even do anything, didn't dispute it. So it didn't get disputed. So that got cleared, the copyright got cleared. Now what they actually do when you get a situation like that is the money you get from advertising revenue goes into an escrow account. Well, they call it escrow, right? And this thing got quite a few views, and so there's a bit of money on it involved. You know, for me, it's probably, I don't know, probably 20, 30 bucks maybe. Right, it's not a huge amount of money. And, but it helps the channel. And he went to his escrow account, and when it got released, you know, the dispute didn't get challenged, and so I then got the rights to use it because they didn't say no, I couldn't. And I never got the money. Don't know where the money went. If they didn't claim it, and they didn't actually challenge it in the end, and they were happy for me to use it because they didn't say no, and the money's supposed to go to an escrow account, whoever wins the challenge, whoever wins the rights to use that clip, gets the money. And I got the right to use the clip because they didn't say no in the end. Where did the money go? I didn't get it. And if they didn't actually challenge it and claim the rights to it in the end, they didn't get it. So where did the money go? I bet YouTube got it. Anyway, that's back together and working. I've actually had YouTube claim once on my own music, right? So some of you may know that I've dabbled making my own music, and I'm not very good at it, but I like electronica, and I make a bit of music occasionally on the computer. I haven't actually done it much at all for a few years now, well, quite a few years, because YouTube's taken over instead. But I've made some own music. I've actually released some albums, stuff like that. Not very popular. Just it's just me playing around, and I put them on YouTube and they're on iTunes and SoundCloud and things like that. Actually, we were on iTunes for a while. You have to pay to have them up there, and I ended up not bothering renewing it. So I had my music, and I actually had some of my music used on something. What was I using it on? I can't remember now. But I had it one of my own tracks on one of my own videos, and it got a copyright claim. I was pissed. It's like, how dare you claim rights to my music? It's like, you bastard. So I challenged that, and I gave them proof. I gave them the YouTube, not YouTube, the iTunes video link and everything. Like it's got an ISBN number, something like that, isn't it? I've got it off from when it's published. I gave them that number to prove that, hey, this is off my own album. This is my music. It's got my name on the track, and they cannot claim it. Anyway, they backed down, but the fact that someone tried to claim my music as as theirs, oh, that pissed me off. How dare you? I'm the sole right holder to that. So yes, that sort of stuff goes on YouTube. Fraudulent copyright claims happen all the time. Yeah, well, if someone's claimed my music, then that's still, but I think I've got proof. I've got the original source files. I've got it all on my computer. So, I've got all the information I need and all the proof I need that it's my music. So, it wouldn't matter. If it went to court, I'd win and claim damages. I don't know if I ever bothered with it, to be honest. It ain't good music. No one's going to really want it, to be honest. It's not good. Yeah, anyway. It's just something I'll do to kill some time, but like I said, YouTube's taken over that, and I don't really do much music anymore. I've got software still. I've actually updated the software last year to the latest version. At the time, early this year, I updated it. Cost me $300. Update the music software I use. Reason, because I haven't updated it for a while, so it's a bit out of date. So I updated all that, so it's the latest version, that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think so. My time goes into going into making YouTube videos, not making music anymore. So I would like to do some more music, and every once in a while I kind of get the urge to sit down and make something, but then I remember, oh no, I've got to make a review video or something like that, It's like, oh no, I've got to do something else today. I have to edit that video which I recorded 3 weeks ago, that kind of thing. Rick, yeah, I know he's having lots of issues as well, yeah. Yeah, people claim classical music. They don't have the rights to classical music. The person that created it has the rights to it. Maybe their descendants have the rights, but after a certain period of time it becomes public domain, isn't it? I think it's 50 years, is it? Or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but after a certain period of time it's deemed to be public domain. Yeah. This bloody thing here is not nice. Anyway, so that's back together. That's working. I'm happy with that. Let's wind that back down again before I scare the hell out of my wife when she goes to use it next time. So I should be happy. She's been waiting for this thing to be repaired for about the past week. Actually, I should do an outro for this video. So that's all fixed now. Back together. My light's still off so you can see the display. But I'm happy with that. My wife will be very happy, and that's even more important. So she'll be able to hook her phone back up to this again, listen to her music when she's out working in her little workshop there. When she's doing her projects she works on as well. She has her own hobbies, obviously. And she likes to listen to music while she's doing those things. And she's been missing not being able to play music through this thing for the past week. So she'll be very pleased when she discovers I've actually fixed it. Well, I seem to have fixed it. I'm going to do some more testing on it yet. But it's looking very promising so far because it hasn't faltered again yet. I might leave it on overnight and see if it still plays up tomorrow or not. Hopefully if it's okay tomorrow, then it's good. Good done for using royalty-free music, really. Really? Oh man, I think I did once too actually. But I was able to prove it was free use sort of stuff, you know. I've always challenged it. Whenever I've got hit by something, I've always challenged it, and I think I've only not won the challenge once. Thing is, you're not challenging against YouTube, right? So you're not actually going to YouTube and saying, "Hey, YouTube, this person's trying to make an unfair claim." Your refusal of that claim goes to the person which is claiming the rights to it, and they can still choose to say, "No, sod you, I'm doing it anyway," and still make the claim. So you know, it's an abuse system, and YouTube really needs to do something about it. It is really badly abused because people make claims, they make fraudulent claims, and then you can dispute them, and they go, "Nah, sorry, we are not anyway." And even if they're wrong, they can still say, "Nah, tough." It shouldn't be up to them to make that decision. It should be up to YouTube or some arbitrator to do that. To say, actually, no, you don't have the rights after all. You know, or something's free use, public domain, tough. You know, there should be someone else that can step in and do that. It shouldn't be down to the person which is making the claim that they own the music. That just isn't right. Anyway. Don't have hand something back and say, yeah, I fixed it, and it's actually worse. That has happened to me. I can't believe it was now. Probably about 10 years ago, I fixed something for her. I don't know what it was, and it was worse. Originally, you know, I appeared to have fixed it, but then when she went to go and use it, it was worse than it was before I touched it. Yeah, that didn't go down very well. It was funny, you know, she had a laugh about it and stuff, but you know, I did fix it in the end. It took a bit more effort than I originally thought. Alright, so let's just do the outro to this video. So, other videos to watch down below there. So, just go over there if you're not already subscribed, and there's Patreon support link over there. Maybe you want to help me buy a new one of these things for my wife, even though this one seems to be fixed now. Good to know. Right, that's that one done at least. Let's move off my desk for the time being, so I want to be doing a live stream in 11 hours time, but I'll be doing something else. Let's tidy this desk up. Oh no, I've lost one of my bits. Let's go, there it is, number 4. I've got to figure out what I'm going to work on tomorrow actually. I haven't decided. Actually, I was going to look at these capacitors, wasn't I? Let's look at those capacitors and see how they come out. Let's put this on my wife's desk. And plug it in. See if it starts making any weird noises in the middle of the night. Right. Let's look at these capacitors. Clip lead. Got some interesting reviews coming up soon. You may have seen I've already done some on the some Finercy gear recently. I've got some more. I've got 3 review items which you guys wouldn't have seen yet. One more Finercy thing, a Zoe device, and a device from a company called Euler Precision, which Thomas Shearer already did a video on prematurely. I think he wasn't told to wait on a publication of it. I think he didn't know about that. They hadn't told him, so he published it a bit early. Which is an active probe, 3 GHz active probe. So I've done a review video on that, and I've got that waiting to go. So when they're actually ready to do their publication of their crowd source thing they're trying to do, what's it called? I forgot what it's called now. Some crowding thing they're doing anyway. So once they're ready to actually launch the campaign, then I'll launch my video to go with them. But that's an interesting device. A bit of a play with that. So there's at least, well, there's definitely 2 more weeks worth of reviews. So I've got 3 videos a week for the next 2 weeks, definitely. There may be a 3rd one. Depends on when the other one's done. Kira, are you going? Right. Short calibration. I've still got to actually sit down and calibrate this thing properly yet. I haven't actually done it. It's close enough, but I haven't actually calibrated yet. I'll need to do that. I mean, it's in such good condition, it's basically working. So, let's have a look. 680 microfarad. Let's do 20%. Typical bloody value, isn't it? And 25 volt. Let's hook these up and see how they come out. These are ones which are bulging. Not splitting much from these. ESR 5.3 ohms. Yeah. Why isn't it saying bad? Oh, because I haven't sold it as electrolytic. I always forget to do that bit. Here we go. Here we go. Bad. Leakage 86 microamps. Leakage is actually good. And still going down. Okay. Value 16 microfarad and similarly dropping. Right. Let's check the other one. 16 microfarad out of 680. ESR 6.5 ohms. Value 14 microfarad and leakage 2 milliamps. It's dropped down again. It says good. So leakage is okay, but your value is like 680 microfarad. It ain't doing that, is it? Okay, next one is a 22 microfarad 50 volt. I always forget to click the aluminium, or the capacitor type, I should say. I always forget to click on that first. I do it every time. Right, ESR. That's actually really good. Value is slightly low, but not much. Also good. And leakage, still good. A little bit higher than I'd like, but still come up as being good. So that cap might have actually been alright. But anyway, replaced it anyway, because that's a switching cap and these always go bad in the end. Yeah, right. This bloody reflection on here is quite bad, isn't it? Get rid of some of that, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Is what it is. Oh, but yeah, I really need to sort of pull this out one day and actually sit down and actually do a proper calibration on this thing. But it's like it's close enough that I'm not been bothered by it. I know it's slightly out, but it's really close to right, because it does seem to basically make sensible measurements. I think it's just like, I think the capacitance values are reading slightly low, and that's basically it. So yeah. Anyway, one day I'll get around to it. If once in a while I sit down and think, oh, I should pull that thing out and do the calibration, I go, no, I can't bother. That keeps on happening. Right. I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser, a bit of a behind the scenes teaser. So you'll be seeing this, and this week you'll be seeing this, and the week after that you'll be seeing that one? No, not that one. Something else. You've already seen that one. Got too much stuff piled up over here. This one. So this will be this Wednesday. That's next Wednesday, probably. It really depends on when this one gets published. This one's already on my Patreon's page, so the Patrons can see this one. I uploaded that today. This one I haven't edited yet. That is edited, but it's not uploaded yet. So this is a multimeter thing, soldering iron thing, and I've had some criticisms, or given some criticisms on this thing in the video, so watch that. This was also pretty interesting. It's basically a multimeter with a battery test multimeter built into it as well, so it's like a battery tester with multimeter functionality. It's not too bad. And this is the most interesting thing. I didn't really show you this because it's not allowed yet. But watch the main video when it comes out. Here it is. Nice active probe. I showed that in the mailbag and it arrives as well. I'm not sure which mailbag I'll put that in. Maybe it's tomorrow's one. Or Monday's one rather. But yeah. There's some little attachments here for the probes to hook it up. But yeah, I'll do a review on that and show it in my bag as well. But that thing is, so it's 3 GHz active probe, and so it's basically a buffer. So it means you can hook up to a circuitry with this thing without loading down the circuitry. So you're trying to measure like an oscillator or something like that, or some kind of oscillator circuitry. You can connect this up and not influence the circuitry that much because it's a buffering. It's just it's not being dragged down. So if you're trying to probe with like an oscilloscope or something like that, if you're using a normal oscilloscope probe, you can load down a circuitry and affect the oscillator frequency. Whereas with this, you won't. So that'd be interesting. I mean, I've already recorded. I can say it now. As I've said, I've already recorded a video on that, and I've edited it. It's all ready to go, but not published yet. I've been asked to hold off until they're ready to launch the campaign. But if you want a sneak peek, look at Thomas Shearer's one, because he actually already did his video, and it's got some similarities to mine. We've both covered some of the same things, as you'd expect. So, give you a clue. Right. Back over here. So, well, it's working. It's still on. It's plugged in, turned on. Let's just double check it. Just in case something's changed in the meantime. No noise. Change the inputs. Wait for the volume thing to go away. Auxiliary is the one which makes noise as well. Nothing. Yeah, still good. FM. Here's the noise. As you'd expect, so that's fine. It's still going. Just mute it. Just in case it does make a weird noise in the middle of the night or something. And my monitor just went to sleep. That's great. Let's turn this back on. It does it occasionally. If it's on for too long. Now it's upset with my computer layout. Okay, all good. We're back. Zoe battery tester. Yeah, so it's you can plug on. Polarity doesn't matter on a tester, so you can put it either way around. So you can test the battery ESR. So you can hook up the battery to the voltage and the internal resistance of the battery. So you can do it like 18650s or SLA batteries, gel cells, car batteries, that kind of thing. It's very much like the one I did before for Finersi. There's a Finersi one that I reviewed previously. It's like that in functionality, except this has also got built-in multimeter as well. And I go through my calibrator on the multimeter section and check it on the calibrator and check its accuracy, and it's all good. They improved the connector X1R, XR1, sorry. Yeah, it's got those little 4-pin connectors, little round ones on there, for the 4-wire connection. Hang to Shanghai, yeah. Well, if you go into Zotac, like you said you might, then say hello to Julie if you see Julie. Is obviously marketing. He says his name's Julie, but his name's actually, hold on, let's look it up. Lang Yang. Lang Yang is what his name is on his email name, but he signs it as Julie Yang. If that helps. Pop down like go from New Zealand to Australia. Yeah, it's not. It's not exactly small. Distance is quite large. But yeah. Anyway, so I did a full review on that, and that'll be coming out depending on when the Euler Precision one wants to come out. So if the Euler Precision one's not due straight away, then I'll be doing the Zotac one. Zoe, we want to call it. And then so the Euler Precision one will come out when they say they're ready to launch, and they've got their campaign page set up and ready to go. And they'll let me know when they want that, I'm sure. But I mean, it's all ready to go, so I've just got to upload a video and publish it. So those little ginger cats are running like crazy. I can hear them running everywhere. ZT111. ZT111. I don't have one of those. I don't actually recall what that is. No, I'll have to go and have a look. I may have seen it. I'm looking now. Thing is, they don't have all of their stuff on their site. Oh yeah, it's like the Anning, isn't it? Is that the right one? That's just come out as 303, not the 101. That's not the right one. You got the wrong picture, or at least the wrong heading. You got them swapped over on the website. The page links are going weird. I'm just looking at the site. It's got a heading. I'll show you. This is a bit strange. Yeah, I was going to show you this. Here's the website. Okay, so I was looking for the 111. Here you go. 111. Click on that. It's the 303. It's like, okay. Well, it's got a picture of 303 as well. Let's come down here. That says 111. It's got 303 on it, and it's a 109. Okay. Make it bigger. This is 109 on 303. There's 109 there. Is this the wrong lines? Oh, that's bad formatting. Is that what it is? Bad formatting. C2, yeah, it is. It's like a big gap. Right, that's what it is. So the name way below. Yeah, right. Okay, where's 111? Fine, 111. There, so that should be 111. Right? It is, there we go. And that looks a lot like the Anning meter. What was that model number now? I think I might have given that meter to someone. I think I gave that one away. I'm just double checking. I don't even have all the meters in here. A lot of them are outside in the other room. No, I think I gave that multimeter away. Yeah. Yeah, don't have it. So there was an Anning meter which looks exactly like that. Probably just rebadged, you know, that's what I do. So anyway, yeah, I was a sneak peek, there's some stuff going on. Some videos got to do. It's my list of videos I've got to make. Don't tell anyone. And these are the ones I've got to publish yet. Can't show you those as a secret. Any multiple suppliers, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, Zoe and a lot of brands you'll see will be like the same meters with different names on. Sometimes the model names are even the same or almost the same. Has microamp milliamps, yeah. Yeah. Henning and Zoe, yeah, could be. I don't know, a lot of stuff gets rebadged, doesn't it? Oh, did I miss Rob coming out? Yeah, it's Rob Topton. Hey, Rob. These shirts, you like the shirt, do you? This shirt. You too can have this shirt. You can. Honestly, you can have this shirt. Yeah. I'll pin it. It's right. It's pinned right there. You too can have a shirt like this. Although I've got a few different versions of it actually. Maybe not that one. I've got a few different versions, but yeah, these are available on my Spring. Is it Spring? Isn't it? Teespring. It's now called Spring. It's on my store. If you feel the urge to buy my merch. Problem is, what I really dislike about these merch stores, they're so damn expensive. The prices that they charge means I'm making like $2 on a shirt and they're making a massive profit on them. You know, there will be. You know, charging $40 for a shirt, for example, and I'm making like $2 on it. It's like, it's almost not worth bothering. I probably need to find a better store, to be honest. But you ordered 100 instead of 10, yeah. Yeah, well, Johnny, I might need some one day. I can't remember what the part number was. I did watch your video, obviously, but I don't remember what the part number was of that chip you were actually using. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I come across flash chips I need to do sometimes, or DPROMs. You know, they do need replacing sometimes, but yeah, like I said, 100 of them is like a lifetime supply, and some. You don't need 100, do you? Might start manufacturing something. FT24C16. Yeah, it's ridiculous money, isn't it? You know, I think it puts a lot of people off, and I need that. YouTube has got tracking for when people go and click on the merch links to go and see who's going to go and look at one of these shirts or my mugs or whatever it may be, and AT24C16. Okay, I have to try and make a mental note of that. 24C16. See Johnny. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so YouTube shows me these. Like, people have gone to my merch store a lot, and I've had, I can see people going to look at the shirts and merchandise and stuff, but not from its own tracking. It says no one's ever bought one. It says straight away that the store is just too damn expensive. I know it is. I mean, the only reason I've got them is because I wanted to have some of my own shirts for merch, right? I wanted to have some. Now, I did actually, when I first got the merch store, I did some like gearish colours. I did like yellow and bright green, and I don't pretend to wear them. They're quite bright and outlandish, I thought it'd be something a bit good for videos, so stand out, and look a bit weird, So it's intentionally, I don't know, intentionally ugly, I suppose. But yeah, so it does annoy me that the merch store's so damn expensive. So I really do keep meaning to go and find another merch supplier and try and find someone which is cheaper, so that I can actually get a better price for people. Because something I do actually have is on my Patreon. On my Patreon page, where people are members for a long time, supporters on Patreon for a long time. The Patreon does have perks, so after a period of time you'll get bits and pieces. You could get a mug or something like that. They're not done through Teespring, it's done through Patreon systems. So there is a way of getting merch cheaper, or for free, basically. In a way, you support my channel enough to be at a time, I'll actually give you that money back in merch. You know, it's one of the things I do to sort of show appreciation to people which stick around for a while. Some people like only give me they'll join for 1 month and go away again, sort of thing. That happens too much to my liking actually, but at least it's a couple of dollars which I wouldn't have otherwise got. But having people joining the Patreon is actually beneficial for them as well as for me, because in the end, if you hang around, you get some merch, and you don't have to pay for it. It comes out of my pocket. I pay for it. But then hopefully you stick around more after that, and then I start getting some money from it. Basically, once I've got it set up so that once you've paid a certain amount to cover the cost of the merch, it will send you the merch, and then hopefully you stick around after that, and then I start to make some money from it. So that's how it works. If you don't stick around long enough to actually cover the cost of the merch, you don't get the merch, and I get that money instead. That's just the way it works. But Eventlink for sales. No furs for a year. Golf Pro. Switch back to Golf Pro. I don't know that one. She bought equipment to make shirts herself. Oh, really? That's awesome. The Siglent shirts fit me? No. Well, yes and no. As you know, I'm an extra large. The large is way too tight. It will go on, but it's tight. It's very snug. The one which is marked extra large is the same size as the large. It feels the same size anyway. So I do wear them from time to time, but they're just not camera suitable because it's a bit snug. I'm a bit too fat for them. So yeah, probably need an extra large or something. Double XL, based on their sizing. But I know I'm an XL. I've got a bit too fat over the years. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm sort of thinking about now, do we do something else tonight, or do I think about having an early night so I'm fresh in the morning to do some more? What else can we look at tonight? Don't know. Oh, I'm going to do something else tonight. It has to be something quick. I'm thinking. I haven't got anything quick. I think that was probably the fastest thing to work on I've got around here. Awesome, thanks Rob. That'd be great. UK 3XL. Yeah, so yeah. You're medium. Yeah, I mean I used to be a large. I've always been a large, right? And basically once I became, a teenager, I was a large from then on, right? And as I've basically when I got into my 40s, I sort of slipped slowly into being an XL. Yeah, I think I enjoy food too much. I actually not so much food. It's more of a case of I enjoy chocolate too much, which is why on my Patreon page, the donations are listed by packets of M&Ms. A small pack of M&Ms, a bigger pack of M&Ms, big pack of M&Ms, family pack, and then upgrading to donuts. That's why it's based on that, because I quite like M&Ms and donuts. That's why I've got that weird scheme on there for those. Trying to be a little bit funny about it. Turn base. Yes, anyway, yeah. So I'm sort of thinking now about, do I start something else to work on tonight? Dimensionally challenged, 2XL but extra tall. Yeah, since my problem is I've got short legs as well. My legs are quite short, so one of my pet peeves is trying to buy jeans which fit. I can buy jeans with like short leg jeans, and it's still too long. I'm not that short. I mean, I'm average height. You know, I'm sort of 5'8", but I've got long body, short legs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not particularly tall, but I'm fairly average, I suppose. I'm probably the same dimension round as I'm high. I don't know. Probably shouldn't joke about that. She might be right. Yeah, it's only 10:38 a.m. Yeah. It's only early, eh? It's only early. But for me, it's like 20 to 10. And it's been a long day too. I'm thinking about whether or not I'll do something else right now or not. I'd like to find something quick to look at. So we could do something, just, something easy and simple and just, spend maybe another hour or so. What do I have here we can look at? I must have something. I know what we could do. I know what we could do. I have an idea. Oh, no, I got that wrong, didn't I? I have an idea. No. This is actually a thing I'm thinking about doing. I've had this bulb in my kitchen for, I don't know, maybe 2 years? 18 months, maybe? Hey, Christian. And Charles. And I was actually thinking the other day, this bulb's going quite well for an LED bulb, but it hasn't blown yet. And literally 2 days later, it started flickering. I think I jinxed it. We could have a look at this. I mean, it's just an LED bulb, it's not too exciting, but it would kill some time, wouldn't it? Give us something to do tonight. I was planning on doing a video on this. Now, I actually quite like the bulb. The light out of it is really nice. It's a nice pure white. So it's not yellow, it's like a 5,000 Kelvin or something like that, is it? 6,500 Kelvin. 2,300 lumen. And it's actually, because that's what we had in the kitchen. There's like a central light. And it is nice. And so I jinxed it by thinking that's going really well. And now it's got 2 blown LEDs on it. Wireless lamp, yeah. Jump at a short LED, should be right. Yeah. I'm wondering if we can do better than that. Let's have a good look at this. So I already broke it open, obviously, right? I'd spent a bit of time in the spudger and worked around the outside to get it open nicely so I could actually put it back together. That's the plan intention. Well, plan intention. That's the intention, or the plan, whichever one you want to call it. Let's get this set up again. I might need to empty off my SD card, actually. I might just have a look at that. How full is that after the last video? Wait for it to come up. And I can't see it because I've turned off the screen. 42 minutes of footage left. Okay, I have to empty the SD card off. Just in case it goes over that. Nothing like having it stop recording when you're not looking. And then you have to redo a part. Which is frustrating. Let's empty this off. Let's get into off my SD card. Then I can carry on. Right. Don't put that in this. It's going to take a minute because it's an SD card with 32 gig of footage on it, which is what I recorded fixing everything. So once I've emptied this off, we'll look at that bulb. It's not too exciting, it's just an LED bulb, but it might still be interesting video for someone, seeing how one of these particular bulbs go together, what goes wrong with them. And I do actually have some LEDs, so I'm actually tempted to take out the faulty ones and replace them and see if it keeps working. I'm also wondering about maybe reducing the drive. I don't think it's possible to get to drive circuitry though. Just waiting for this SD card to empty off. Yeah, that's right, Charles. Jumping it will make it work, but it increases the strain out of us. Nice to see my workshop. Well, it's not very big. you can basically see it. Call that the SD42. Yeah. It's sitting there. I put some charge into it the other day because it was getting a bit low. I did actually show it in a video I was doing. I don't know which one it was now. I think it might be one of the LC Automotive reviews I was doing. I think I showed it in that. About 2 minutes left to empty this SD card off. Yes, okay. Whilst we're waiting. Let's do this. Let's see how much I can show you with the wires clapping around. So there's the top part of my desk up there. Storage up there. And across over there. Got some manuals and crap like that over there. Right. Lots of messy shelving. And the main part of the desk which you normally see. And some cabling and crap you don't normally see. Bits and pieces like such. The wife's desk, which you can see in the background anyway. Spin around back around this way. More messy desk. And it's the corner you don't normally see, is over there. So, parts drawers, 3D printer. Bamboo Lab 3D printer over there. And my calibration tower, which has got some stuff stacked in front of it. So, some bits and pieces here which you might be interested in, which you may or may not know I even have. So, got some bits and pieces on top of there. Got a couple of Fluke devices over there. 510A and a 731B reference standards. Somebody might recognise that. Hey Ian. And a couple of voltage divider things which I designed a while ago. GPRB hub 720A Kelvin voltage divider. 8.5 digit multimeter. Constant current calibrator, which I've done a video about. I think I've done 2 or 3 videos about that one actually. They can do just over 10 amps output. I think they do like 15 amps maximum or something like that. Or 12 amps max. Then I've got a resistance calibrator, which you can't really see, and then 7.5 digit Datron multimeter, my 4700 calibrator, which you've seen videos, and a whole bunch of other stuff piled up over here. Projects to do. Some of these. There's the 2724A, which I did a video on recently. You've got some key bits of gear there, which I've got to do videos about. I've done a video on that one there, that piece there. That's had a video done already. That's the 101 nanovolt meter, 181 nanovolt meter, I should say. That needs a video doing, needs repairing. I mentioned that in the last live stream. That box there I've done a video on. And most of that stuff I've done videos on, but some of it I've got to finish off. And right there, that piece of gear stacked up on its side with the stuff I've piled on top of it, that's my Valhalla 2703 AC calibrator. Now, I was messing with that a while ago and I made a mistake. I actually turned the power off with the calibration key still turned on and it screwed up the calibration. And at the time I didn't need that calibrator because I had the new 4700 up and running over there, and so I didn't bother going any further with it. And I've just put it to one side for the time being, and I haven't got around to finishing it off yet. So it's in the pile of things I need to do, but I just haven't got around to it yet. Anyway, there's a tour. I suppose you want to see in the drawers as well, don't you? Now I've got the drawers here. I've got some MacBooks I'm fixing, or have fixed. Some bits and pieces in here. Siglent probes. thermal imagers. That thing, I forgot what it's called. Really good little analyzer, dual scope. That's right. There, by the pulsar, small oscilloscope probes. Barcode scanner. There's the Fluke battery tester, which I mentioned before. Bunch of multimeter stuff. Various bits of accessories and cables and clip leads. Got Bryman meters in here, and EV log version. Got an 869 sitting there on a DER. I've got some cables and attachments and other bits and pieces. Got a light meter here. Yeah, all sorts of bits and pieces. Got USB adapters. Soldering drawer. Got bits and pieces. It's not just soldering. I've got this bloody awful SMD tweezer thing. I did a review on this thing years ago, and it isn't very good. I actually really need. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it to someone for $20 or something. I don't know. It's not good. Various like brand new tips, things like that. Solder balls. More syringes. Flux there. Main flux syringe. Cleaners. This is a thing which I haven't done a video on yet. I don't think. Calibration Heathkit thing. Decade capacitor. I don't know if I've done a video on that or not. IN21. Decade resistor, which you probably see me do that in videos many times. Little inductor thing which I showed recently. Soldering iron tester. There's the MHP30 hot plate, which I purchased that from Miniware. And then shortly after that, they actually offered to send me one. Well, too late, I've already bought one. I did actually contact them, and they didn't reply for like months, and I bought one instead. More cleaning stuff. Various hand tools and bits and pieces in here. New drill and strippers and various screwdrivers and nut drivers and all sorts of stuff in here. And then this drawer here, standard resistors, loads of those. Got another one in there, and chargers and things like that. Nothing too exciting. And then these other drawers are just basically junk. I've got like, RF gear in here, RF sensors and things like that. I don't know, all sorts of stuff in there. And top ones like networking gear and network cables. There's cleaners and aerosols and bits and pieces up there too. And boxes for some of my gear. And there's a Simpsons poster, because everyone should have a Simpsons poster. Right. Shows the caps. They're on the back of the desk, mate. Mess with the Fluke scopes. I think I had like a scope multimeter once. I think I've done one of them. What the hell was that called? It was like a Fluke scope meter thing. It was like a multimeter with a scope display. I think was it the Fluke one, was it? Or was it Zotac? I honestly don't remember now. Yeah. Anyway, my files have now copied over, so let's just get this SD card empty. Then we can carry on. Let me just name this folder. Hold on. Edifier IF360BT. Repair. Okay. Passengers have their own room. Yeah. Well, you can see some there, like in the back of the desk. I've got caps there, right? Hold on a minute. So you've got those caps right there, right? Which you can see in most of the videos in the background. Right. That's radial, those are axial, and there's tantalums at the bottom of those ones there, right? Then over here, there's other caps in here. We've got amps and stuff like that. There's caps there, high voltage caps like polypropylenes or that. They're in there. And I've got some more there as well. Just different types. And these are actually, if I come out a bit, there's a whole bunch of ICs and bits and pieces in there too. Like there's 4000 series ICs in those drawers, which I did organising not too long ago. I want to get some 74,000 series. I've got some drawers for those, but I ain't got around to doing it yet. And also got, like, go over here. I can get it in shot. That cable's getting caught. Hold on. Getting a bit wonky now. Over there, there's like ceramic caps and film caps. I've got some film caps in the bottom there as well, but most of them are ceramic caps. And they've got, those are all resistors. We've got lots of resistors up there, all full series. And I've got some various like specialist, like these are CB radio type transistors and things in there. Things I use for doing CB work. I don't use those very often. I don't do much CB work anymore. Just don't have time. Yeah. So yeah, I've got quite a few caps. Oh, let's get the SD card back in the camera. Right, let's get this set up a bit better. Don't think I can balance that, can I? Nah. It would be funny if it's bouncing it. Anyway, let's do a video on this thing. So I'm going to do a little video today, which is a little bit different to normal. I had an idea, and that's to do a video on this bulb. Now this bulb is a Philips bulb. It's the little number on the back there. There you go. 19 watt, 6500 Kelvin, 200,300 lumen. Right, that's what it's rated for. Now this bulb I've had in use for about 18 months. And I was actually thinking not long ago, actually that bulb's doing quite well. It's not blown yet. Because my experience with LED bulbs, they last, 6 months to a year, then they fail. Because they're super environmentally friendly, aren't they? I can't even say it properly. They're environmentally friendly because they last much longer, don't they? I'm pretty sure it's less environmentally friendly to make all this instead of a glass bulb with a filament in it. Anyway, less environmentally friendly, not better. Yes, they use less energy. That's the only benefit. The rest of it is a downside. Anyway, that's my pet peeve. But anyway, this bulb, a couple of days after I thought, it's going really well, and it decided to start flickering. And I've already cracked it open. Did it really carefully, just got the spudge around the edge there and just worked its way around, all the way around, just gradually working it in. And just cut between the sealant and what have you, so I could get the top off. Of course, the intention is to try and fix this thing. Now let's have a close look at the circuit board, and we'll see what we're dealing with. So there's the board. See all the diodes laid out, even numbered. 28. That's nice. Actually, that 36. 36 is over here. Is that the highest number? I think it is. They jump around the place. So obviously it's, whatever. I don't know. There's 36 there. Because 35 is that top one. So I have 36 diodes. I'm not going to count them. But you can see here, apart from some compound covering up some of these ones have got dark spots on. And this one is also getting a dark spot on. So we've got 3 LEDs here which have failed. Definitely failed. Now this bulb was just basically, it still worked, but it just flick on and off sometimes. So I'm actually wondering if maybe we can get in here and replace these 3 LEDs. The part of the problem with this is that this is an aluminium PCB. It will be an aluminium PCB, you can guarantee it is. Aluminium with an extra eye in there. There's 2 eyes in aluminium. 2. Hold on, zoom out a little. There's 2 eyes in aluminium, as I'll demonstrate up there. And so that's going to be like a massive heatsink. Obviously it's screwed to this plate. So I'm going to unmount it off this plate, and we're going to see if we can get these. Getting them off is easy, but reattaching new ones could be tricky. And obviously polarity is going to be, you know, a tricky thing too. Now I do have some LEDs. Whether or not they're suitable for this, I don't know. Might be 18-volt LEDs. I don't know what they are. Hey, Cajun, how's it going? Right. So I don't know what these voltages are. I mean, I don't have a convenient tester to plug this into to actually hook it up and find out. I really don't know. It would be nice if I had like a flying lead I could hook this into. I can't. I'm not keen to have like exposed terminals and shoving them onto here at 240 volts. I think that's a bit of a stupid thing to do. So I'm not going to be doing that. Not that one. Let's video this. So I started taking the screws out, and we'll see what we can see. I mean, it would be nice if we can actually get into the driver circuitry as well, because if I can actually get the driver, maybe I can drop the voltage down or the drive current down, so that actually reduces the stress on the LEDs, so they last longer. The problem is that these LEDs, they don't last because they're overdriven. They're pushed too hard by the manufacturers. You know, because they want nice bright lights, so you're really impressed by how good they are. Well, yeah, they're great for the first 6 months, and then they start flickering. I'd rather have them drive at 90% the power or 80% the power, be a little bit dimmer, and last for 5 years. I think that'd be better. Anyway, let's see if I can get this off here. It may even be glued. That might be a glue. That's solid. I think it's glued. Boo. Let's see if we can get underneath it. Yeah, that's definitely glued. That's solid. This could be hard to get off there. It is good they've glued it though. Thermal compound. Thermal adhesive. I'm wondering if I should even bother taking it off actually. What do you reckon my chances are of soldering this in place? Probably not good. Yeah, let's see what options got here. I wonder what voltage comes into this thing. Either actually 36, so we got 6 across. Yeah, 6 by 3 by 5, 6 by 5 plus 4, 34, eh? It's got the numbers 35. Am I miscounting this? 3, 4, 5, plus those two, yeah. Okay. Diode mode. So we can get once lights up. I might have to swap the leads around. I do actually have a tester. I do have a tester. Oh, I broke that one. Oh no. Now I ruined it. No, that ain't doing it. Okay. Getting 36, well done. Yeah, not found hot air, exactly. Okay. I do have a tester here. Where did I put that? Did you see it when I was showing you the drawers? Where did I put that? I'm just trying to find this LED tester, which I know I own, because I got it for just doing this kind of thing. Once I find it, it'll be good. Usual situation. I mean, I've got things like this laying around, you know, logic probes. Done a review on that. 0 plus, awesome gadget. Don't use it very often, but I have used it. I do tend to use my oscilloscope more than anything else for doing that sort of thing. I'm delving into the bottom 2 drawers. I'll show you this, shall I? I'll just show you. Bottom drawers, I showed you that one, didn't I? I'll show you some of it. And then I'll zoom out a bit. 18 gigahertz frequency counter, just in case. Curve tracer, done a video on that. Amplifier, I've done a video on that. SCR250, haven't done a video on that. I did show it in mailbag though. This is a little garden spectrometer. Showing it in mailbag. And then we've got a Boonton 2510. I have shown of it. I've done a video on that one. I actually did 2 videos on these things. Well, 2 different devices which I repaired. That is many years ago. So it's a modulation meter. That works. I've done videos on these things. High voltage leakage tester was one of the projects I did a while ago. Here we go. As I'm looking for this thing. Right. Spot welder. Yeah, this doesn't end, does it? Never ends. Looking for this. I knew I had one. Does it look dangerous? Absolutely. Is it dangerous? Absolutely. No cats in the drawers? No, there's no cats in the drawers. Not at the moment, anyway. So I saw this on Big Clive's channel. He had one of these things. And I thought, actually, that could be useful. I could use that one day. I've yet to use it. So, we'll find out what's going to happen to this. So output's DC, 0 to 300 volts DC. So it's basically a constant current source. It's meant for driving LED circuitry. So it may or may not work. These leads long enough to not worry about that. Let's plug this straight into the power point because, you know, what's wrong with that? Take the tips off. Ooh, pointy. I kind of want to pin this down somehow. Let's do this. At least secure it in some way. It's not flopping everywhere. slightly better, wouldn't it? So I'm just trying to balance it on the desk. Now, yeah, I should be able to do that. Now, unfortunately, I've taken the top one of these LEDs off. It might still work though. Right, power is on. Switch is on. It's currently putting 162 volts. Let's stick it across here. It has negative and positive markings on the PCB. Nothing. Okay. There you go. There's a string there. String there. String there. So there. It's very bright. So you can actually figure out where these are. I should probably be recording this, shouldn't I? So over here I've got my LED tester thing. Big Clive had one of these, and I thought I'd just sort of do a video on it, using it. I've never actually used this before. High voltage coming out of these probes, a bit dangerous. Don't touch the bloody probes. Alright? Don't touch the probes. So I'm putting across the terminals here, and there's nothing showing up directly on those. And if I go across some of the LEDs, you see they do light up. Right? So I can actually go across a bank of them, and they'll light up. And now I can't see anything. But that's okay. Right? But, can I get a different bank? This is a current limited supply, which is the whole point of this. Go to the positive side instead. Yep. Yep. There we go. There's a bank there. There we go. And this one here is dead. So that one there is not working. That side is not. I don't know about any others. There we go, those two there. But yeah, this is what this is for. It's for doing this kind of thing, so you can actually track down the banks of LEDs. Now, if you really want to be, fussy about it, you can sit down and actually look at the traces on the circuit board and go, okay, that sort of goes across here somehow. Does it? There you go, those two together. Those two together. I'm not sure where these go. That one's on, but that looks like it should maybe shorted. That one's open. That one there I accidentally damaged. So that's probably dead. Right, you can actually do individual LEDs as well if you want. So, yeah. It allows you to figure out what's going on. But this is high voltage. I don't know what current it puts out. It's I do not know how well restricted it actually is and how safe it really is. But it's enough to drive these LEDs, and it's high voltage. So I imagine this could probably hurt you quite badly if you did this wrong. Anyway, but we can see that we've got a bunch of LEDs which just aren't working. Not sure where these paths here are. Those ones there. And those ones are working. Those might be in parallel then. Those ones there. Don't know about that one. So yeah. Using this you can actually go around and figure out which LEDs are blown. But like I said, it's a bit of a challenge trying to get that right. Alright, so those work. That one doesn't. But those ones with the dot spots we already know are bad. And this one here I think I'll probably blame when I scraped it with my soldering iron. Soldering iron. I think I scraped it when I was probing. That one's dead now, so I damaged that one. But anyway, we'll turn this off and make myself safe again. I thought I'd show that. Lick the probes, seriously? Yeah. I mean, this is dodgy, right? It's. I don't know how safe this thing is. I don't mind holding on to the probes, but it's very easy to forget what you're doing, thinking multimeter probes, it's okay, it's safe. It's, you know, you're probing stuff with it. You know, you accidentally touch one of these. I mean, right now it's got a single pole switch which has turned it off. Are one of these probes connected to the mains? I don't know, maybe. You have to wonder. Anyway, so I've got like 4 LEDs, it looks like, which are definitely dead. One's with the black spots on, and the one I've mistakenly screwed up. So, shall we try and fix it? We could try. Polarities is something I was trying to figure out, wasn't it? Let's unplug this thing, I think, from the wall before something horrible happens. Let me get my LEDs, see if I've got something which is actually going to fit. Too small, getting bigger. 1206 is look a bit small. No, that's not the right size. I mean, 1210s looking similar. 2835s look similar. I used some of these recently in another repair video I did. Hey, you could put some green ones in. But yeah, what voltage are these things? I mean, they're not lighting up the multimeter, so there's a good chance they're not just a single LED in there. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Then these aren't low voltage LEDs, they're not 3 volts. I'll show a close look at this to see if I can see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're not 3 volt LEDs, so I can't put those in. I don't think I've got anything suitable. I don't have any high voltage LEDs for this function. Yeah, these are all the standard voltage. So I mean, I could maybe put them in there and they'd probably blow fairly quickly again. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame I can't see what the actual voltage is of this whole thing. Let's have a look at something. This will do. What could possibly go wrong? $18 volts. Let's change the current. Oh, no, it's not one. Let's just what's it doing that? Keep doing the wrong bloody buttons. That one. Set this to 18.5 volts, 20 milliamps. Let's see what happens. Okay. Can't see what I'm doing because I'm blind now. But that 20 milliamps definitely lit up really well. Let's go 10 milliamps. So I'm trying to find. They're still doing 18 volts. Do you know what? I'm doing something really stupid here. I've got this plugged into channel 2 and I'm adjusting channel 3. I don't believe it. Okay. Jesus. Right. $10 milliamps, channel 3, 18 volts. Man, I'm an idiot sometimes. That's seeing 8 volts. 8 volts, 10 milliamps. Okay. And I think that wasn't full brightness either. So let's just go and crank the current up very slightly. Let's go 15 milliamps. That's 8.2 volts. I've got white spots in front of my eyes now. 20 milliamps. 8.3 volts. Yeah. And it's still not full voltage. So it looks like they are about 9 volt LEDs. So probably 3 chips in series. 3 1 volt, 3 white LEDs in series most likely. So it's probably going to be closer to 9 volts, isn't it? Let's do 30 milliamps. .4 volts. Yeah, I think that's probably 9 volts. 9 volt chips. Okay. Now, if I could stop seeing white dots in front of my eyes, that'd be great. See, I'm probably working on these things. And I should probably record video on this, shouldn't I? Because, you know, that's the whole point of what I'm doing. At least I haven't done the mistake where I was trying to edit, control channel 3 whilst plugged into channel 2. It's lucky channel 2 was a low voltage, isn't it? And low current. Right. I just want these dots to go away. Have it on. So this thing here was telling us, it's working, and it showed us the groups, because you can injecting a higher voltage and current limiting and that sort of stuff. So that was useful. A bit dangerous, but useful. So now I've actually got my power supply here, my Siglent SPD 4306X. This is set up on channel 2, believe it or not channel 3. You joke, don't worry, do your live stream. Oh no. I've got it set to 18 volts at 30 milliamps, right? So 30 milliamps is like maxing out an LED. These LEDs are triple chip LEDs, I believe. So we're going to connect this up to an LED and see what the voltage drops down to. Now, hopefully you can see it on camera. Let's just see if I can get a bit closer with this and adjust it. Angles aren't perfect, I'm afraid. Let's see what we can do. Clamps falling out. Right, power supply is turned on, and I'm going to measure this corner chip here. And I've already done this, so live stream people, which I'm currently watching as well. I'm currently live streaming, so they've already seen me do this, but I thought I'd better record video. There's that. And that's setting at 8.4 volts, basically 8.5 volts at 30 milliamps. And that brightness looks about right. If I go across 2 chips, that's 2 chips. That's now 18 volts. And that looks about the right brightness at 30 milliamps. So, yeah, the 9 volt chips. So all the replacement LEDs I've got are only 3 volt or so, roundabouts. those standard single chip LEDs, where these obviously triple chip LEDs. Yeah, so I haven't got the parts to fix this, which is a shame. Or do I? Or do I? Give me a second. Let's turn it off before I short it out. So here's a box of bits. Now in here somewhere, amongst all my various bits and pieces, I'm pretty sure they're in here. I'll send these in mailbag. I'm not going to be using those yet. Here we go. Here we are. That's what I'm looking for. Ah, different size chips. That's a shame. So I've got these. I've actually got one white. I've also got some cool white LEDs as well. So these are meant for replacing them in the drivers. But standard downlights. I've repaired those a few times. I've actually done some videos on a couple of them. I haven't had to repair one for a while because I think I got down to modifying the circuitry a little bit to actually make them last longer. They I haven't had to replace one for probably about 3 years now actually. So I've got all these parts, but I've got some. These are okay, but I prefer the cool white ones. These ones are a bit yellow for my liking. Let's see if I can power up one of these. I might drop the current down a bit actually, I'm not sure. Oh. Let's go down to 10 milliamps. Not that way. That's very bright. I'm pretty sure that's just a standard. Yeah. I think these are only low voltage. I don't mind if I destroy one of these. 10 volts there. Yeah, see that one there's lighting up. It's doing 4 volts. Yeah, 4.4 volts. I think I'd better supply an LED there, but I don't care. I don't really want these particular bulbs anyway. Let's do 4 volts, 10 milliamps. Yep. There. Anything? No. Those two there lit up. Yep. So I think these two should actually be parallel. I think I'll just blow an LED there. I think I did too much for it. Yeah. That's fine. So I think that one is blue. Yeah, they are in parallel. So those are good. That one there. So that one there is bad now. I've just blown that LED, but that's fine. These are only 3 volts as well. Or so. At 4 volts I was getting, wasn't I? Yeah, 4 volts across one. But these are paired. So this is a pair here. 2.8 volts, yeah. So these are only low voltage LEDs. So not exactly the same. Different kind of setup. But yeah, I've got these for downlights. And I'm not worried about this one being dodgy now. Although I should probably mark it, shouldn't I? I was just going to annoy the hell out of me one day and I go and put it up and go, oh, why's that one not working? What happened to that? Now I've got to try and find out which one it was. I've forgotten. Was that better? Which one was it? That one. Right. Let's get a marker. I've lost track of it. Which one it was again? Jesus. I think it was this one. Was it that one? Oh, I've got this wrong around again. Oh, come on. Oh, turn the other back on again. That would be helpful. It was that one. Okay. That one there, I'm going to put a cross across it. So I know that one's bad. Okay. So, anyway, that's that bit. SD42. Well, only if it can do a high enough voltage. Can it? This will not become a video by the looks of it. It might go in my archive of stuff which didn't quite end up going to plan. Diode. Is that the right one? That's diode. LED, that's what I want. There we go. Right. So yes, this can do it. Well done. At least to a point. So that pair there, 3 volts, and it's also given a forward current, or 2.54 volts, and what's that, 1.22 milliamps of that current at that voltage. So yeah, and that pair, yeah, see, it's not working. That one is probably partially shorted actually. It's not lighting up properly at all. 1 milliamp. So that one's not happy. Well, it's probably partially open actually. Anyway, yeah, it's the same. But I don't think it's going to work on this. No, because it's only 3 volts and these are 9 volts, so it doesn't work on those. Not surprising. So we finished charging up. It's only about half charged. I didn't charge it up all the way last time. Need to do that. Anyway, all right. So yes, I don't know. This, it's probably not worth me trying to get these LEDs. It's probably just better to chuck this in my junk pile and maybe have these LEDs as a spare for another bulb. Yeah. Yeah, I don't tend to do LED testing. I usually grab something like this, right, and just do diode mode. That's usually what I use. But yeah, that was useful, I have to say. So I'm going to put these other LEDs away. So it's just these bloody cats are running around like crazy next door again. Right. So I think this isn't going to be a video after all. Yeah. I was hoping I could just replace these with some normal chips that I've got laying around, but these are 9 volt chips. I don't have 9 volt chips, so I can't replace them. And there's 4 here which need replacing. So that's 36 volts worth of LEDs which need replacing. If I did put 3 volt chips in there, that's only going to be 12 volts. That's going to be 24 volts out. So not good enough. It would overstress all the LEDs with too much current. So yeah, not ideal, not good. So I think I'm probably just going to scrap this bulb. I'll put it to one side, chuck it in my junk box, and maybe one day I can salvage the good LEDs off this to repair another bulb. If it's even worth it. I mean, these bulbs, I think it was like, I think this bulb here was something like $30 or something like that. You know, I think it was something like that. It wasn't that cheap, but it wasn't that horrendous either. I think, or maybe it's $40. I don't remember, but it's only a couple of years ago I got it. But it's annoying that, you know, you used to be able to get a incandescent bulb, you know, literally $1 or $2, and it would last you years. Like, easily you could get a decade out of it without any worries whatsoever. And these are considerably more expensive, and they last a fraction of the time. And they're worse for the environment. Yeah. False economy. Great for manufacturers, I'm sure they're making a killing. Oh, could short out the burnt LEDs, but then it's likely to just go worse. There's that one here which I damaged, which was working before, so you know that really didn't help. Yeah. In fact, I wonder. Hold on a second. Oh no, it's very different. Very different. I've had this sitting around for ages. Someone gave this to me. It's a LED panel thing. I've had sitting around for ages. I don't know what he did, but it's pretty dirty when I got it. Yeah, I don't know what the stories with this thing, but it's got different LEDs in it. You've got 6 legs. I've got no idea. One day I'll look at this. Not now. You can go back on the pile. I've had it sitting there for like 2 years probably. It might sit there for another 2 years yet. Anyway. Right. Well, that was an interesting little experiment, I suppose. Got to play around with this thing, finally. Finally got to use this. I knew it would be useful for something one day. That's why I got it, man. You know, that's something I tend to do. Is I'll see something which is like it could be useful one day. One day I'll use that, and I'll pick it up, and then I'll kind of forget about it. But no, I knew I had that, and I got that for the intention of working on LED lamps and stuff like that. So I could actually do this sort of testing with them. And it's very useful to actually test a whole string of LEDs, not just one at a time. And obviously a multimeter can't bring up these because they're too high voltage, so it's perfect for doing that. So it's really good for this sort of work. I think it's really meant for doing like LED strings on TV backlights, things like that. And that's what they're really meant for. But it works great for this, as you saw. Now, what's actually in here? I don't remember. I did watch Clive's video years ago when he, well, was it like a year ago he did these things? Not that screwdriver. Let's have a look inside it. Other way. Undoes the other way. I think this might need charging. It's a little bit sluggish. Let's see what's in here. Can't be much. Right. And that's what's inside this thing. It's actually more than I was expecting. So a little switch mode supply. Just trying to see if I can see any like current sense resistors. I don't see anything. Nothing obvious anyway. Don't know. Anyway, it seems to work. Is it safe? Probably not, but it seems to work. So Big Clive did a video on this thing when he had one. Maybe I should go back and rewatch it. if I can find it. If I can find it, he does so many videos. As I know, he looked at the circuitry a bit more detailed than well, I just did, certainly. Head of the banana jacks, but yeah, how you doing? Yeah, definitely. Pop isolation slots, yeah. The 2835s, are they? Those 18-volt ones you got. Yeah, he's done a different. He's done a couple of these, eh? He hasn't just done one. I've seen him do different versions of these LED testers, and I think he did this exact one. Yeah. HWL 300 it's called. Yes, it's meant for doing backlights. There you go, as it mentions. You can actually change the voltage on this thing, I think, somehow. I don't remember how you do it. Probably listed on there somewhere. But if I was reading, you know what it's like. Just trying to read it myself now. Anyway. Shove it back in the box. And next time I need it, I may remember where I put it. May do, maybe. It could potentially happen. Right. Zoom out, actually. Okay. Try and get it back in the box. Yeah, there you go, it's in. Yeah, I definitely need to go back and find Big Clive's video just to educate myself on how to use this thing a bit better. Because it was very educational, that's why I bought this thing, because well, that's really good. It's very useful. So I'm trying to get everything back in my drawers now and get everything back out of the way. Right. So I've got these MacBooks here which I've fixed up. I'm actually trying to sell a bunch of them. Still got some more to finish fixing. I've got videos to do on those yet. I have to fix them first. But I've been busy doing other things and I got kind of sidetracked and I haven't touched those MacBooks in, I don't know, what, maybe 2 months maybe? Might be that long. Right. Tidy up. So I've got some of these D2R bulbs. One of the vehicles take these bulbs, and I'm not actually sure if the bulb was the issue. These bulbs are really cheap, like really cheap, compared to what you'd normally pay locally. So if you've got these from something like Repco or something like that, which is like a automotive parts place, you know, general purpose parts, you know, tools and what have you, I think they're about $140 New Zealand. I looked around a few other places like Supercheap Auto had them, but they're about the same price. I think it's 135 or something like that, I think it was. Still horrendously expensive each, right? This is each. So if you want to replace both, because you may need to, because the Kelvin rating needs to match, you're talking, nearly $300 basically to replace the bulbs, which is ridiculous. A pair of these from AliExpress was a fraction of that price. It's like, I think they're like $15 each or something. Literally a tenth of the price. Anyway, I replaced the bulb which has been playing up. Basically, it works, and then you'll be driving along and it just goes off. And it stays off until you power the lights off and then power it back on again, and then it comes back up. I was sort of suspicious that, is that really the bulb, or is it the driver? I replaced the bulb, drove the car to work in the morning. It's dark. It was working the day before when I tested it out. It was working fine. Drove to work. It was working when I left. Wasn't working when I got there. And I turned the lights off, turned it back on again. Still wasn't working. I was like, that bulb's already blown. That's a bit rubbish. But half expected because they were such cheap bulbs. But I think the local price is kind of exorbitant. I don't think they actually really should cost as much as they do. So, I don't know. I went to go and pull it apart, thinking, I'll have to change that bulb and put another one in, just try another bulb and see what happens, because I've got them anyway. And it was working again. It's like, okay, is it the bulb, or is there something else wrong? I'm wondering if maybe there's an issue with the wiring or the driver, and the driver may be overheating or something, and it's causing it to stop working, because these are, that says 12 volts, so actually like 85 volts or something, I think now. So, yeah, it's interesting. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that yet. I need to investigate some more. But these bulbs are cheap from AliExpress compared to locally. I don't know. I think the local price is just stupid, but the price on these seems reasonable. I mean, for what you get, it's a bulb, mass-produced bulb. It can't be that expensive to make, surely. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm still got to figure out what's going on with that yet. Whether it's the bulb is actually the issue because I've replaced it with a cheap one, or whether the driver's an issue. Now, what I actually want to do is swap the bulbs from both sides. Now, I've got a brand new bulb, one of these ones, in one side, and I've got an original bulb in the other side. If I swap those over and see if the problem moves, that's my next plan. If the problem moves, I know the bulb which I purchased isn't up to the job. If it stays where it is, then I know it's the driver or the wiring for that driver which is playing up. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. It's not exactly easy to work on either, but yeah, it is what it is. The connector looks clean. It looks fine. Because it's inside a weather-tight compartment. It's got an O-ring seal and everything on it as well. It's actually really hard to open. It's really tight. So, you have to unscrew the back of that and it's rubber O-ring seal. And I put some silicone on that when I went to put it back together again, and that made it easier. But yeah, it all looked dry in there. There's no signs of any corrosion or anything. It all looked perfectly fine. Visually, I couldn't fault it. I thought it was a bad bulb, because I've had bad bulbs before. I've had these things go. It's exactly the same symptom, where they, start off okay, then die. Exactly the same behaviour. So I thought, okay, well, I'll swap the bulb out, but I didn't want to spend $150 a bulb. Last time I bought bulbs like this, they were about $70 a bulb. The price has doubled. It's like, yeah, $70, even that is a bit painful to buy them. And this time I thought, well, I'm not going to pay $150 on a bulb. That's just stupid. $15, much better. I thought, well, if they last a year then fail, it's still cheaper. Yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Right, it's nearly, it's 10:45. Right, I should chuck this in my junk box when I go back out to the garage. I've got a junk box in the garage. I've got bits and pieces which might be good for parts. That can go in there. I might stick some tape around that, protect it. Yeah. Bit of tape. Bit of tape. We might get some sellotape. Got some here somewhere. This will do. It's got to stop top falling off, that's all. Good enough. Let's change to change that. Let's recheck this thing, see if it's still working. Unmute it. Turn the volume up. No noise. Perfect. Hate this bloody dial control in it. It's useless. Never have liked it. USB. No noise. SD card. No noise. Auxiliary. No noise. I should probably turn the volume back up to be absolutely sure. Yep, nothing. iPod. No noise. FM. Noise. Cool. It's working. Hasn't played up again, so I'm guessing it's fixed. Got one win at least. Anyway, okay, I'm going to call it a night. I've got to be back for another live stream in 9 hours' time. You must sleep. Yes, me too. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow morning. Anyway, we'll see. Here we go. Alright, I'll catch you hopefully in 9 hours or so when I do the next live stream, when we'll be tackling some test equipment. Probably. We'll see. And hopefully the internet connections will be better then. I've dropped 11,000 packets. Well, 11,000 frames has been dropped. Okay. Catch you later.